But now you're gone and leaving nothing but a sign. Another evening I'll be sitting reading in between your lines, because I miss you all the time. So get away, another way to feel what you do. Want yourself to know and let yourself go. You know you do lose your self-control. There's snow under the rainbow. Turn away, another way to be where you do want yourself to go. Let yourself go. Is that compromise? So what do you wanna do? What's your point of view? There's no party screaming. Do you wanna get a handshake with you? What's your point of view? I want talk with you. I don't wanna get, 'cause I really wanna stay at your house in Paris. But you know how much you brought me all undone. You were ignoring you. I don't wanna know. And I'm aware that you were lying in the gutter, 'cause I did everything to be there by your side. So when you tell me I'm the reason, I just can't believe the lies. And why do I so wanna call you? So what do you wanna do? What's your point of view? There's no party scheme. Do you wanna get a handshake with you? What's your point of view? I want talk with you. I don't wanna get, 'cause I really wanna stay at your house in Paris. But you know how much you brought me all undone. You were ignoring you. I don't wanna know.
Oh, I forgot to mute. Meow, 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 meow. Hi! Have you watched? I did not watch Ed's Runners yet. I've been playing a shit ton of Cyberpunk though. I mean, the most I can with my job, but whatever. It's fine. Hi, chat. Hello, how you are been? I missed you. Hi, Pookie. Hi, Shao. Hi, Domino. So, small surprise today. Okay, we got okay. Bardic is on his way. He needs to take a shit. Normal. That's totally legit. We got a little collab coming. I just want to play a game with friends, so I don't know. It's gonna be exciting for me at least. I see it's like super slow today. What are you guys up to? Where is everyone? We have an ad. Oh fuck, we have an ad. God damn it. We gotta wait for this to be. You know what? I'll fix my.
Did you wash your ass today?
My mouth while I wait for the ad to go. There we go. Mouth fixed.
For the
There's like an
best streamer on
expression.
Twitch, 3.
Ah, I'm not the best, but thank you. Twitch. I love how you spell Twitch. You stream on Twitch? I'm streaming on Twitch. Oh, fuck off, Ed. I want to actually talk with people. God damn it. Okay, everyone's turning everything on. Yeah, perfect. I will call. While the game is playing, we're gonna play Mage Arena with a bunch of friends. We're actually trying to fill up a lobby and see how it goes. I tagged everyone on the title, at least everyone that streams. Kevin's also gonna join. I was gonna tag Kevin, but I don't know. I forgot her account name. But she also doesn't stream, so I'm like, you know what? Sure. Whatever, it's fine. It's fine. Oh my god, you can now give 200 subs at once? Bro, Twitch, excuse me. There is, I do. Twitch. Okay, anyway, hi chat. Do we have anyone here from the ads? You wanna break from the ads? Rawr. Metal, how you been? Hi. Oh, this playlist is so much better now I'm used to playing, man. You can actually vibe. I got so I was not yesterday, like last week. I was so... Oh, there's Kevin's account. There we go. Now I can tag you in the title. Because Kevin, I forgot your account name. I was like, who the fuck are you? Like, who are you? So many I's and W's. Like, I don't know how to spell your name. There we go. I can tag you now. Perfect. Enjoy being mistagged now. You're welcome. Ugh. You forgot about me, yeah.
Did you wash your ass today?
Allah, my mom. Thank you so much. 41 months, man. You are insane. Ugh. I'm basically just giving up time so people can, you know, exist and turn everything on. I was going to Anchor. I messaged Raccoon right before they started streaming, and I was like, Raccoon, stop streaming. Okay, so why does my character keep going into the DD expression? What the fuck is the DD expression? He has this stupid... I don't know. Like, I get stuck. Hi, Fancy. Make life because you love magic. It's like the next friend slop game. I don't think it's gonna be that popular, like Little Company or whatever, but it's fun. I love how it says streaming together, but no one is in. Okay, everyone's turning on, blah blah blah, Warudu, yeah, perfect. Fancy bone. You call it fancy boner? What the fuck, man? That's a bad spell. That's a bad typo. That's a bad typo. Man, oh, I'm so pissed off, chat. So when I got a job in Norway, I got an Apple Watch, right? And so I usually use the Apple Watch. There we go, calibrating. I usually use the Apple Watch to like see all my meetings, right? So I don't want to lose anything. My memory is a piece of shit. So I bought an Apple Watch, and yesterday, or a few days, I think it was 2 days ago, I dropped something under the couch. I think it was like a code, like a dog toy, and I like reached out to grab it, and like I did the thing where you turn your arm around, and your hand is facing up, while I was trying to find the toy, and I scratched the whole fucking screen. It's so annoying. I mean, it is usable, but like, ugh, it's like multiple scratches everywhere. I'm so fucking upset. I'm sad, man. It's like 2 months old. Do you suck D? Yes. Next question. I was speaking my mic when I was in a different game. My friends had them recording with me, just yelling fireball. Lamine, do you have the game? If you wanna join, we have slots. We are like 6 people. No, not even that. We're 5. Why don't you have protect glass on it? I never use protection glasses on watches because they mostly fucking suck. This was actually a miscalculation by me. I put my arm on the floor for no reason. I am so stupid. Like, I don't know why. I have a spare 3-pack of smartwatch protectors. Maybe I can, like, I know. So I usually have, I know screen protectors can cover up scratches a little bit, so I might do that. Raccoon is yelling at me. Right, I'm just gonna call the thing and see who picks up. It should be enough. Just jump scaring everyone.
Okay.
Hello. Bardic, can you take me?
Hello. I'm taking a shit right now. Yeah.
Can you rate it after?
Some pictures.
You don't want pictures. This is like a 4 out of 10 kind of poop. It's not like
Not
waste of time poop. It's not cathartic. It's more work than required. Yeah.
Is it like very... Your mic is very low. No, it's not! There you go. Ah!
What?
Ugh, it's very wet. How many, like, toilet paper rolls? Like, you know...
It's not like wet in the sense of like runny. It's like chicken mayo kind of like deal. It's like there's it in the sense of like if you took the thickness of like the mayo in a chicken mayo sandwich, No, this is wrong. Brownie mix. Let's go with a thick brownie mix.
I'm
It's kind
very
of
disgusting.
like.
Right? I am very disgusted right now.
Ah,
Well, you asked.
you did ask.
You did in fact ask.
Correct.
What was it like wiping my ass right now?
I was.
Whilst I'm taking the shit.
I don't want to eat any chicken anymore. Like ruined now. It's ruined.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
just so you know, I'm the alpha. Sorry, guys.
Bandit. Bandit.
Well,
Do you need help getting up the stairs?
no, I get up just fine.
Help him get down the stairs.
Oh, just push. Just push.
Exactly.
I prefer
Mixed
cooling,
ice cream.
actually.
Oh my god, I'm imagining those like ice cream machine now, like the softy machine, like where you put a cone.
No,
and
it's
you,
not
like,
coming
do
out of me like a
circle.
softy machine. No. See, don't say that because now you're reminding me of Two Girls, One Cup.
Oh fuck! God damn it!
Alright, I'm gonna go finish my shit.
You're wrong with that. But you haven't finished yet?
Good luck.
I'm still alive.
Chad, don't worry. You join nothing. Nobody like it's fine. This is totally normal. Okay. Are you a folder or a crumpler? Honestly,
Huge and important questions. Are you a folder or a crumpler? Toilet paper wise.
I already said this one before. I do the conveyor belt technique. You know.
So, guys, how are we?
Blah. You get like a huge roll of toilet paper, and then bend it, and then bend it in half again.
Right.
That's called the conveyor belt technique, okay?
Oh my fucking god.
Alright, I'm opening the stupid game chat meanwhile. Okay.
I'm so close.
Wait, why is it so quiet here? Hello?
I was saying,
Hi,
how are
I
we?
didn't
And then
say
no
you're
one's
Hi.
Oh
joined.
no, what the fuck? Okay, it's not quiet anymore.
Hello!
No. Hi.
Hello. How are you?
Hi.
How do you complain?
I have like a finger in my eyes. No, no, my eyes itchy. Sorry. Right. Hi. Oh,
Hello.
oh,
I'm
doing well.
I'm
Don't suck it
creating I'm creating the lobby stuff.
Thank you for the what?
Don't worry about it.
What did you
Conveyor belt is only available if you don't own the toilet paper. Listen, I like my ass.
your name was again?
Okay, we know that. Might as well just switch the scene already.
Fucking game is
I just started. I'm
so-
overwhelmed. Everything is happening at once.
You're overwhelmed. You get
It's
another
okay, don't worry.
stimulus.
Bardic is
What are we
taking
up
a
to? What are you
shit.
doing?
So
How's your stream been so far?
Rakun's gone.
Add your settings.
Okay, there we go.
I don't know.
Hey, there's Kevin. Kevin's here. Okay, it works. So we just use the code. Cool.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Are you okay, Bennett? I'm not sure if he's dead or not.
Hold on, Snowy, if you can hear me, I'm still fucking... What's the code again?
You can do this.
Major Arena. Right.
Meow, meow,
you
meow.
go.
Be on the Barkcast. Is that the Bark podcast? Unless they invite me, not really. I did get a Bart notification like a few days ago. Let me check. I want to see who is in my area. I want to
Arena.
stalk. Mesh Arena.
Black whoopsie.
Oh, Kira liked my profile. Lamau. Okay. Interesting.
So I got
I got
told by
sniped.
Snowy not to look up anything if I haven't already seen it. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
seen what this game's about, so
Good.
we're not going to look anything up.
Yeah, do not look it up. It's better. Trust me. For no apparent reason. whatsoever. You'll like it, I think. Ugh. It's just fighting mages. There's nothing to worry about.
What up, Gaylords?
Hello.
All right.
Okay, I'm in.
You're in. Okay, you're in. You're in. You're in. Perfect.
This looks like some fucking RuneScape looking thing.
Oh yeah. Okay, you could say that actually. Yeah.
Who the fuck is
I am
Kevin?
ready for more friends. Slop, let's go.
Just gonna take the
I love
goals
friend
off.
slop
Just
games.
gonna do
They're the
this.
best.
I know,
Friend
right?
slop. Come and get your
Bow,
friend
bow,
slop.
bow.
Yesterday it was fucking Repo.
Peak.
Day before that it was
Oh.
Lethal
Nah,
Company. No, it was Peak.
you're
after
delayed. Yeah, it's
Repo,
peak.
yeah.
You're,
It was
you're,
Peak,
you're
And
behind.
it was Repo, and then it was Lethal Company.
I don't think it's gonna be as big as those,
There
but
we
it's
go.
like a
Major
I think
Arena.
I think it's gonna be more temporary. Not gonna lie, unless they actually develop a lot of shit. It has potential.
I'm just glad that there are more games coming up that are prioritizing multiplayer, but not in a shooter. We're kind of
It's like
getting
a
over
it's
the
a couch
shooter
it's a
fucking
couch
arena
co-op
shit.
thing, but like
Yeah,
online
that makes
now.
me sad. I'm good at that.
I mean, there's a new Battlefield now, so at least we
Why
can.
can't
I was
shoot people
terrible
in
at
Peak?
shooter game. The only shooter game I was good at was Valorant, and then people got better than me at Valorant, and I started
Oh,
learning I had
yeah.
anger issues when I played shooter games, so I stopped playing.
The only shooter games I enjoy are
No, I
Cyberpunk
feel you on
and
that. I actually played
Far
my first game
Cry
of
style
Valorant in
stuff.
like months yesterday. I got Diamond 3. I'm Diamond 3.
I was playing Valorant earlier and I got Iron. You proud of
I
me?
always say, if I'm gonna play a shooter, don't expect me to do anything other than
What do you mean?
Take
You're
shots.
cracked at Wild Support.
'cause I can't hit anything.
Wild Assault. Yeah, you're cracked at Wild Assault.
I'm good at with a shotgun.
Oh,
That's
well, the
it.
salt. I need to play that again.
I actually managed to get to Leviathan rank before the end of the first season.
Very nice.
Wait, is Wild Assault not dead anymore? Last time I played, I had issues getting into a lobby with more than 3 players.
No, it's
No,
not.
I've been. Well, I
Either
mean, when I
that-
was playing season 1,
either
it was
not.
alright. But there's a new season out now, and there's a crocodile for all the scalies out there.
All right, I have not played since the update. I should.
Nah, me
play it
either.
at some point. Also, story. How did
Permanent
you join?
friendly.
What? I forgot.
I
I
got you the
forgot what
bad
was
lobby
right
code.
then.
There's a lobby code
Huh?
Oh.
on the chat.
God,
You have a
what is
lobby
it?
code. You have to put it somewhere in the game. I have no fucking idea where. Good luck. I remember my League days, man. I used to be nice, cool, playing League of Legends the whole day, getting upset. Got banned like a few times. Fun times, man.
You definitely set us low.
No.
Like, hold on.
You seem like the type. You definitely seem like the type. Chat, back me up. Snowy
I
has
mean-
definitely
You know what?
said a word.
What do you
Snowy
mean?
does seem like the type where, like, he's got a tweet from, like, 2017
I
somewhere,
managed
you
to
know?
find it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Snowy is the type to have definitely blasted like the N word on Twitter back in 2014.
There's a
I'll do
tweet
it
somewhere,
now.
we just need to find it.
Facebook.
I'll do it right
Oh,
now.
Facebook.
Where's it?
You'll get, like, a random, like, on this day 12 years ago.
On this,
and it's just the
remember
N-word.
this day, and it's,
Yeah.
it's like, remember this day, whoa! Every time, I'm not gonna lie, the Facebook, whenever I get a
Back me up,
notification,
This guy's racist.
no, listen, whenever I get that notification on the Facebook, like, oh, remember this day, I delete it immediately, because it's so it's usually so cringy, like, just a post, or like a thing, I'm like, I just, whenever it's like my reminder to delete posts, it's like, remember this, I'm like, yep, goodbye, goodbye,
Oh, I did that a few times.
it's
Now
like,
I
oh
got to a
yeah,
point where my posts are not cringe anymore.
I want to keep
Oh,
my
what the
cringe
fuck
away,
is
okay?
that?
Somehow I'm a furry now and I'm less cringe. Raccoon, are you? Wait, no. Bardic, we're waiting for you.
It's me. Yeah. Just give me a second. Maybe maybe
Are you
even
still
though that I
wiping?
totally remember that this was happening. So
You did you not
basically-
get the game?
Subathon ended yesterday, right? And I was like, oh
Oh.
yeah, just in case, I will accept this collab for
Not gonna
the
lie.
content, you know.
Yeah,
'cause I'll be live.
I'm surprised you're even here. Not gonna lie. I'm like, what the fuck? You should be resting.
I literally ended fucking yesterday.
I'm back.
Hi Twitch. It was so funny because like I raided out to Rice because he was so fucking nice across the subathon, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna raid you because normally I don't raid at the end of subathons, but I was instantly just joining him on VR chat, and I was like, I should really be resting, and then I drank beers and stayed in VR chat way too long, and then I was like, I've got nothing to do tomorrow because there's no stream. Completely forgetting that this was a stream that I had planned. So
You can leave. if you
I
want, it's
totally
fine.
forgot to A, buy the game, and B, install the game.
I mean, to be fair, it's like $3 and like 2 megabytes, so it's not.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
not like-
literally, it's all good. I'm the only thing that I really should have checked is if it works on Linux,
Oh no.
because now I'm like, most
you-
things do. Most things just fucking work. It's just now I'm like, oh god, this will be the one that
Snowy?
doesn't.
Raccoon. Yeah. Was that a
I can't
raccoon?
believe you're
Okay.
not even putting me in. Not even putting
Ah,
me in the
sure.
title.
For
Unbelievable.
fuck. Yeah, I hate you. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm.
I hate you too.
Are we? Am I in the streaming together? Did I accept that shit?
You know, nobody accepted.
I was.
Wait,
I did on the
the
toilet,
raccoon
but that's on my
cat? There you
phone. So
Oh no, that won't, I don't think that's
There we
gonna
go.
work.
Oh wait, there's a link. I didn't
there we
see
go.
it.
I'm not turning on shared chat. It's just to like have the names and blah 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 and use all the cool features
Yeah,
that Twitch
that's
gives
good, that's
us.
good.
Imagine not having shared chat. That's a coward's
No,
game.
it's mostly because this game is gonna
Set-
be in different places, so it'll be weird. I think.
Oh,
No,
okay.
we'll see. If I have
Oh, we're
fun,
gonna
we
have to
can turn it
mute?
on. Yeah, we're gonna have to meet on Discord because it has voice chat.
Okay.
wanna-
Listen, I'm gonna have a lot of
So
fun
okay.
using this voice.
Don't say anything, by the way, because there's a few people in this call that do not know what this game is about, and I want to have fun watching them find out.
I have no clue.
Okay, you're here, so I guess it's okay. Stop typing that. You're gonna make someone's gonna believe that shit. Oh my god.
Oh, sorry. My
The-
push to mute button's a fucking square bracket and it's just setting it. .com. There's a whole website dedicated to Snowy's racist moments.
Oh, shared
That's
moves
how
are
often it
very,
happens,
very,
honestly.
very, very interesting. I'll turn it on eventually, maybe.
I love how everyone's hat is spinning one way, but then the raccoon cat's hat is spinning the opposite way.
Wait,
No,
no,
for me.
spinning
What's going on
No, they're all spinning. Are you having that illusion thing where
The
you?
wrong.
We're all level 0. Okay, so
Ah.
everyone ready?
Okay, so wait, how do we mute? Wait, it has in-game.
Yeah, just mute on Discord.
Close. Wait, you mean full mute, but then the icons
How do I
don't
do
move
my
anymore.
settings?
Ah, it's
Actually,
fine.
wait,
We don't
hang on,
care.
what
We
do-
care.
Where's I left the lobby a sec.
Wow.
Don't do anything because I'm trying to
Okay.
find out where the
We
fuck
can do the thing where
do
we
I
put
do
all
my
the,
microphone.
Well,
I don't
yeah,
know.
that's why
Only
you
whatever your
only can
default
just press,
microphone is.
mute thingy thing.
Yeah, we can do the
Everything at
output.
once.
Yeah, thingy and yeah.
Yeah.
What are
I
you
just
talking
put
about?
0.
Yeah,
On Discord-
I don't know if the game has my microphone or if it's picked a different device.
We'll
Do
find out.
It's whatever your default microphone is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's on
you'll
Linux
find
though,
out.
so
Okay,
it may be.
So just
So,
make sure your default microphone is
Wait, there we go.
your quad.
Just scream very, very
cast
loudly, and all the microphones pick you up.
Bazinga.
All right, let me restart the game just in case because it was set to my VR microphone.
Zoldar,
Raccoon is off by
Just yelling from
45
across the room,
degrees.
just like-
Goddamn
have
Raccoon.
you heard of a game called Zort?
Oh, I know Zort. I haven't
Right,
played it yet,
played it.
but I know Zort.
I think
Also-
we should do an SSP 4-sack for Zort.
I agree.
I think that could be
Just
quite
because
silly.
if I haven't had the chance to yet. Snow can shut up for a sec. Hi Zelda. Hi Raccoon Cat. Hi Bandit. Hi Kevin.
Hello.
Oh.
I hope you're all good.
I'm fantastic.
Good.
Alright, so we're all
Alright,
gonna do
I'm
the
ready now.
output thingies to put it at 0, and then we can start. I just wanna wait for them. I don't know if they definitely to play or to like talk with chat. Probably talk with chat. Wow.
Blech.
Okay, ready? If you're ready, say aye. You got Dianic. What the fuck? You're gonna cancel me, bro. Raccoon, you ready?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Alright, I'm gonna put the output at 0 and then just start. Good luck, everyone.
The easiest way is the output volume on in the voice section rather than each everyone individually. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
major. Go click
Just
right click Major Arena the chat and just go like. Bloop. There we go. I can't hear anyone. Oh, it's gonna be so fun. Oh. I'll join the sorceress. Meow, 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 meow. Wait, that's a team flag? Oh my god, you can do a team flag. Perfect. Meow, 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 meow. I don't know if you can hear me in Discord or not, but join thingy team. Meow, meow, meow.
Wait, you.
Oh.
You don't.
Control Z. No, I can't control Z.
I don't know when and if we're starting. I'm slightly confused now. I guess I'm just.
You guys
gonna
okay?
wait. I'm just gonna wait. Thank you for the pay to win carrot. Oh my god.
can't
Wait,
hear
thank you for giving us
anything.
up the steel as well.
You guys okay? We're missing Kevin and there you go. I'm not naked, okay? I'm just I need to get some clothes, man. Okay. Kevin? Side? Why is Kevin dead? You alive? I don't know if Kevin dead or not. Oh, okay, there we go. No, join the other side. There we go. Perfect. No. God damn it. There you go. Perfect. Okay. That took a while.
Okay, what was going on?
I think they didn't pick a side. So
I picked a side.
we are fighting. Oh my god, this is so annoying.
Magic missile. Whoa, oh, you actually see it and it fucking goes. Okay.
Magic missile. Oh fuck yes!
That's kind of cool actually.
Hey.
Magic missile.
Do you want to see something cool? Part
Oh,
of the
this actual like, yeah,
Biden blast.
magic missile.
Oh, did they fix it? Biden blast. No,
blast.
they fixed it.
Biden
Fireball.
Biden blast.
No, they fixed my. Oh, I think I can.
Fireball?
No,
Fireball.
it's live. Whoa.
Fireball!
They fixed my Biden blast.
How do I go
Pikachu.
through the?
I'm
Oh,
so
shit,
upset.
How do I go through? How do I go
You
through
press
the,
1, 2, 3, 4.
Fireball!
Hey!
Fireball!
Wormhole.
By the way, we need to fight the other dudes. Okay, we need to say capture the
Worm?
flag.
What is the second one? I can't tell what it says.
It's freeze. Oh shit!
Freeze!
What's this? What does this even say?
Freeze.
Freeze?
He used to work on Fire Blast, remember? Oh shit!
Wormhole!
No, it doesn't.
No,
Wormhole doesn't work.
for wormhole, you gotta. Okay, wait. Okay, whoa.
I didn't know friendly fire was on.
Okay, for the that one, you go like worm. Warm?
It doesn't work in here for some reason.
Probably outside.
and then
Probably
home.
outside.
Aye.
You gotta say warm.
I'm capturing the flag.
There you go. And then you say the other word, whatever you want. Hole.
Yay!
No, anyway, let's find them. Get their asses.
Fireball!
Whoa,
Fireball!
I'm on your team.
Fireball! It doesn't work anymore. Fireball.
You gotta say it with
This game
enthusiasm.
fucking sucks with an accent.
Oh yeah, good luck. Okay, we gotta
Just
find
have to
them.
go American, be like, magic missile.
Magic missile.
Magic missile.
Oh, what is that?
Oh. Where the
Man, I'm
fuck
so.
are
Oh,
we?
that's a flag. There should be around here
It's a
somewhere.
jellyfish.
We gotta capture that flag. Oh,
Guys,
hey,
where
raccoon.
are you?
Marco.
I'm down in the blue. I died and went somewhere.
Bardic, are you in the blue?
It's us and it's
I'm in the blue. I'm down here. Magic missile.
You gotta use a mushroom to jump.
What?
There's mushrooms.
Freeze.
Raccoon.
Yeah.
Raccoon.
much freeze?
Fireball. Fuck. No.
Fire.
No. Fireball.
Magic
Fuck.
missile.
He's too good at this.
Magic.
Bardic. Oh fuck. Bardic is stuck. Oh. There you go. I know you can cast shit. Okay, let's find the. They're too good at this, man. They're too good at this. Wingard. Oh. Disgusting. Wingardium Leviosa. Oh, what? How the fuck does that work? Leviosa. Wingardium Leviosa. Oh, that works. Okay, sure, whatever. Kedavra.
Magic missile.
Hey, Kevin. Look, I found a new spell. Look. No, let me teach you. Look. Wingardium Leviosa. Wait, hold on, it didn't work. Hold on. Wingardium Leviosa. Now it doesn't work. God damn it. Fireball.
Magic missile.
Fireball.
Fuck.
Magic missile.
Hi, friend.
Hello.
Let's fix the game. Fireball. Okay. I know you can craft spells and shit. Okay, worm.
Oh, this is stupid. Worm.
I shall put the other one over here. Oh shit! The capture of shit! Hole.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is this?
Just steal their stuff.
Yes, let's go.
Fireball!
Freeze.
Fireball.
Freeze!
Magic missile.
Freeze!
What? Oh,
Magic missile! Fireball? They're dead. I can't see shit.
Fireball.
Hey!
magic missile.
Kevin?
Fireball.
Kevin?
Magic missile.
Fireball? Fuck, why is Magic so powerful? Magic missile? Where the fuck is it going? Fireball? Oh, it
Fireball.
God damn it!
Oh, someone did.
It auto aims. I thought the magic missile followed your mouse, but no.
Can I see a thing?
Oh, I'm not responding. Oh, I think I'm dead.
Hello,
I
custom.
think I'm dead.
Psst. Psst. Hey. Hello? Hello?
I think we're on
Wow.
the same team.
I don't.
I don't know who you are either.
My name's Oldar.
Oh, wait. I thought that was me.
Oh shit. I mean, my name's Snowy.
Ah, yes.
How do I do a German accent?
Fireball.
No, 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 no!
I don't know where you are.
I don't know where you. Wait, fireball! No!
Use the magic, use the magic.
Ow! It's hot up here.
Magic missile! Magic missile! Worm. What do you mean a strong magical spell dispels your worm? Fuck off. Oh, now you'll put it down.
Fireball.
Oh, oh,
Come on, bandit.
freeze! Missed! Fireball!
Fireball.
Goddamn! You got a goddamn fireball! Fireball!
Magic missile.
Magic fireball! No, no!
Oh my god, the ping. I know it's a distance walk. Okay.
What the fuck just
It's all
happened?
about Safi. Hi, Safi.
Ah, we are level 1s, man. Oh. Then it's just. I think, Chad, I think you can do some kind of crafting in this game. I'm pretty sure. I don't know how. Okay, who's missing? Kevin, Raccoon, Snowy, okay, Zelda. Zelda's missing. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow.
Wait, okay, wait, TTS didn't work. Can I read this? Wait, what? Wait, TTS didn't work. Oh wait, the TTS didn't work. Oh weird. Getting my first custom first hit. I'll be a Bodo.
Yeah, there's preset spells. I mean, I'm sure you can make mods for this. Meow, 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 meow. Zelda, are you existing?
Mr. Happy, I can imagine. It's so exciting finally getting.
Game Crash says lobby is full already started. Oh no! We're.
Why is my?
Can I tag everyone here?
I like it so much though. That's so weird. Why this clip? Oh my god.
Testing lobby,
What
Zelda
no.
crashed.
Oh,
There you go.
no, you're the little bossy
Let's
wossy.
restart this. Create lobby, make private, and copy
Oh,
lobby
God,
to
what
clipboard. There we go, perfect.
Oh,
Meow,
sorry,
meow,
okay,
meow,
restart
meow,
lobby.
meow, meow, meow,
Restart lobby.
meow, meow. There we go, yeah. So awkward not having music on the background. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow. Kira, I just saw your notification on Bark. Okay, Zelda Raccoon, me, Kavan, Missing Bandit, and Bardic. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. There you go, music. How you doing, Kira? Everyone good? I'll make sure you keep your castle's flag up or else you can't respawn. Oh, okay, that's how. You're speaking? What?
Oh shit!
Hello?
What's the code? I like it.
It's on the chat.
Is it changed now?
Yeah. On the here.
I can't believe you changed the code.
Thank you.
Is that like a crash? Is that my fault?
Thank you, Seth.
All right. We're muting in the Discord though, right?
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's better to just mute instead of doing the output thing, so you can all unmute after.
Glad. Oh my god.
Is Bandit okay?
The critter. I mean, that kind of. That's not even bad. Wait, Happy. Wait, you used the GLaDOS one.
Meow, 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 meow. I'm a pro at managing these things, okay? Trust me, chat. Oh shit, I closed chat. As soon as I said... Okay, everyone's here. As soon as I said I'm a pro, I almost fucking closed OBS.
I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go. I guess I got it.
There you go. One left. Snowy Raccoon, Zelda versus Kevin, Bardic. We have a crack team. We have a crack team. I think we got this. I think we got this. Meow, 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 meow. More Arcanine animations, please. And more for. Kira, you should totally get an Arcanine Fursuit. Just saying. There's a map.
See, that's like a friendly
Bro,
thing to say. Right?
I didn't even know there was a map. Apparently there's
You
a
like
map.
our flag? I made our flag for us.
But how do you
What's
open
what's
the
the
map?
flag?
Oh.
Oh, it's white.
Okay,
Alright, boys, here's the plan. Here's the plan.
What is speak to soup, man?
Magical soup?
I do not understand a word what he's saying.
Oh, rock soup. Wait, hold on. I'm making rock soup.
I got a silver.
I have rock soup.
Replace
You guys want the rock soup?
Put
How do you open
a log together? Does
How
this
do you
Your
work?
voice
open-
bellows from the mountaintops. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Wait, how do you open? How do you place items or use? Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh,
what happened?
I think he killed himself.
Wait, why is there so much reverb suddenly? What is happening?
Echo. Alright, cool,
I
let's
don't
kill
like
some
the
bitches.
echo.
Is Zelda permadead? Oh, yes, nice flag.
I don't.
Oh, no, he's.
Why does
Oh,
my-
wait,
why
wait.
does my
Shh. On the left,
It's
raccoon,
so.
raccoon.
It's so much reverb. Also,
Raccoon
why does
on the
my
first.
does my avatar? Wait, does my avatar still freeze or is it fine now?
No, look fine.
Oh no, I meant on stream. Does it still? Wait, deep freeze? What do you mean, Fred? What is deep freeze?
Ah! Don't say that! God damn it! Oh yeah, raccoon, my fireballs are fire.
Fireball.
Fireball! Magic. The fuck? Magic
I was
missile.
reading chat.
Magic missile.
Magic missile.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Fireball.
Fuck, freeze.
Fire. Freeze.
Biden blast. Biden blast?
Fire.
Doesn't work. Fireball.
Magic missile.
I can't see.
Fireball.
Magic missile.
Freeze.
Worm.
What does magic do?
Worm.
Like, is it just
Magic missile. It just flies after you and hits you. Fireball.
freeze?
Hole. 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 Fireball! Fireball! Fireball!
Fireball.
Magic missile! We got it, we got it, we got it.
I'm an unarmed combatant. I don't have
Fireball.
a spell. I accidentally gave it to one of the villagers.
Fireball?
And I blew him up, so I couldn't get it.
Fuck!
Magic missile.
Fire.
Shit, where the fuck am I?
Hi, what's up?
Are you on my team? I forgot.
Because we're on the same team. Oh no, no, you don't need to say the whole thing. It's like plenty enough if you just. Oh shit.
How do I leave?
It's not good. Watch out for giant frogs. They will eat you and kill you. That's what happened
Var?
to me.
There's Var on the game?
Like, there's absolutely
Lucky,
Var in the game right now.
if you only say fire.
See, you can go check it out over there.
Oh, the
Right here,
flag
look at-
changes.
You want? Hey, you want some Vor?
Oh, Jesus.
You want some Vor? Come over here. Go say hi to that guy.
Var! Whoa, that's terrifying. Jesus!
Fire!
What the fuck?
Fire! Fireball! Oh, here. Yeah, I'm not good at pronouncing fire, apparently.
Do I have to be on the page to do that?
Magic Fireball!
I think that's it. Fireball.
Oh, but how do I get out of the swarm?
Yeah, you have to
Oh, am I
page.
permadead?
Magic
What the
missile.
fuck?
I have to what?
No!
You have to do
Oh, I hate this. I hate the swamp. I don't even know where they are.
Where?
Then jump. Okay, I'll.
I think
magic.
the flags are down. How do I keep
There
the
we go.
flags up? The frog
Freeze.
balloon can allow you to glide great distances. Oh,
Fire.
okay.
Fire. Oh, why did it? Okay, for some reason it doesn't like fire. 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 Oh, it doesn't like fire. Everything else works.
Magic missile.
The sounds, bro.
Freeze.
Fireball.
Man.
Oh. Oh, wait. I'm back? I'm back. Oh shit, I'm back. Fuck. This is so hard to, cause like my base is here. There's like a flag. Well, I'm gonna try and take their base, chat. We can do this. I think it's on the castle. Whoa! Fuck! God damn it! I know I like Vor, but like, jeez. Alright, we gotta be careful with this. Worm. Okay, we need to be on the page. Worm. Oh, I'm so far away. They're on the castle.
The sorcerers have captured the warlock's base.
Oh, the sorcerers. Oh. Oh, what the fuck? Magic missile? Where did you get Thunderbolt? What the fuck was that?
Magic missile!
Fireball.
Fireball! Help me! Help me!
Magic missile. Magic missile?
Oh, fuck.
Magic missile. Jesus! Who the fuck got Thunderbolt?
Waverly, please.
I can't see. Divine light.
Warlock has been slain.
Fireball. Jeez, I don't even know my team. Magic missile.
Thunderbolt!
Magic
What the fuck, raccoon?
Yes?
Where did you get that?
I don't know. I traded my book back, so then they gave me like a Thunderbolt. It's the only. Oh no, that's the only spell I have now.
Your spells grow
Thunderbolt.
stronger.
Thunderbolt!
Jesus Christ!
Jesus Christ.
Magic missile.
Raccoon.
Give me a chance! Oh,
Magic missile.
Fireball.
Fireball.
I think.
Freeze. Magic. Fuck. Magic missile.
Fireball. Fireball.
I killed
Oh, did
myself.
Zelda crash again? go get our flag back up. How the fuck does that work? Zelda, did you crash? Meow 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 meow.
I feel like
Yeah,
it's.
wait, we lost Zelda again, I think? We lost... Yeah, we lost the teammate.
I
Yeah,
think
blame
went
it on
weird
that.
for me, I can't get back
Yeah,
in.
blaming it on that. Exactly. Yes. That must be... Yeah, that must
I
be...
think we lost Zelda too. We may need to do a stupid
God.
lobby every time we restart. It's
Okay,
kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you. I thought you did. Thank you.
Apparently I died and just kicked me.
Yeah.
Can you rejoin with the code or no?
Okay, I guess are we redoing the lobby again because they crashed again? Mead, hi Mead, welcome in.
Habaya baya 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 baya. Ah,
The
fuck it.
music.
I guess we're restarting again. God damn it.
Okay, I guess. Okay, I guess we
God
gotta
damn it.
join a lobby again.
This is so annoying! Why do I get a funny
Lobby's full or
game
it's
and then we
already
die?
Wait, lobby is full or has already started? Excuse me, what?
Yeah, I'm getting that too.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
On the new one?
Oh my god. No, what are you doing?
Wardick,
Simon?
try the new code. Because we got
Oh,
everyone
okay.
in.
Also, hi Dennis.
I
There you
didn't
go,
copy
okay.
it properly, that was it.
It's kind of
Yeah.
it's just kind of annoying, but whatever. It's fine. Fine. It's fine. It's fine. Alright, let's do what's on this one? Chat, what should we draw? I wish I was an artist, man. I want to draw Boy Kisser. What if I make it blue? Yeah, I just make it gay. Fuck it. There we go. Are these the right colors? I have no idea. A dick. I don't want to put a dick on the gay flag. There you go. Is this shared? I think someone else is editing. So why am I a lucky Novian spotter? Oh, I guess it depends on how you join, yeah. Firebolts. Just select all pride flags. You can load from disk. What does that do? Save to disk. Oh, okay, I guess it's okay. Yeah, it's a really shitty saving thingy. We're missing Bandit. There you go. Oh, do this? Yeah, okay, there you go.
What are we?
Raccoon, how did you get Thunderbolt?
Wait, okay, so there was a gnome, and I gave him my book by accident, and then they took my book and gave me Thunderbolt back.
I know you can do soup on this dude, like if you have mushroom or something.
You can get
Like-
him shit.
Fire! 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 Holy shit,
Yeah,
okay,
Raccoon,
there's a problem
look
with
at
my
this one.
fire.
Look at this one. Wingardium Leviosa. Almost worked. Wingardium Leviosa.
How did I drop shit?
Oh. Man, I'm so sad. Biden
sorry.
Blast used to work,
I
and
ate
now it
some-
doesn't anymore.
I ate something.
Oh, mushroom soup. You ate my mushroom
Okay,
soup!
I
Wait, I make
have to learn how to say-
frog soup.
I have to learn how to say fire. For something like fire doesn't work properly, freeze works
Fireball.
most of the time though. Oh, oops.
You gotta say the whole thing.
Fire!
Yeah, fireball.
Fire.
It's fireball.
Ah. Yeah, you don't need to say ball.
Fire.
See?
you're
Fire? Fire. Fire.
Fire!
Oh,
Fire.
Fireball is better though. It's more,
Fire.
it's more convenient.
Fire!
Jesus, Raccoon! God damn it!
Oh, yeah? What?
I can't see the door. Alright, let's go.
Fireball!
Oh, that's like a crow. Maybe he gives
okay,
me like
maybe
a
it's more
spell.
reliable to say... Yeah, I think
Oh,
it's,
it's
more
way
reliable
more
to say...
reliable.
That's okay.
Oh
Thank you for the thanks.
Okay, so it seems to be more reliable to say fireball instead of just fire. Oh!
Oh, don't say that.
I'm sorry! Okay, I gotta flip pages.
Oh, they're nearby. They're
I
nearby.
think, yeah, I think the safest is to stay on the freeze page.
Shoot. Magic missile.
Magic.
Where the fuck are they? Fireball.
Fireball.
Oh shit. Magic missile.
Fireball.
Magic missile. Magic missile. Fuck. Fireball. Fucking magic missile. Oh, now you work.
Freeze!
Oh. Freeze.
Oh no, I put my book away!
Ah shit.
Magic missile.
Magic missile.
Fuck. Okay.
I didn't go for him.
I don't like this.
No, fireball. Fuck.
Freeze. Fuck. Fireball. One fireball. Magic.
Ooh. Wait, they're near. Bum, 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 bum.
What does this do?
TTS to the game and just lets players catch stuff using TTS. Let me see. I may be able to. Magic missile. Magic missile.
For some reason, magic is reliable, but the
Fireball.
the fireball doesn't always work for me. Oh well. Freeze!
What the fuck was that? Freeze.
Don't say about it. Divine
Freeze.
light.
Yeah.
What the fuck, Kevin? How do you guys get this shit?
I summoned Jesus.
The divine light is a healing, I think.
Is it? Oh.
Fireball.
Fireball.
Magic missile.
I just almost killed myself.
Magic.
Fireball.
Magic missile.
Dark blast.
Magic missile. What the fuck?
Fireball.
Fireball. Jesus. Magic missile. Magic missile.
Magic missile.
Magic. Magic missile. Magic missile. Magic missile. Magic missile. Magic missile.
Freeze.
Fuck. Fireball. 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 There we go.
Fireball.
Freeze.
Running away from this shit.
Rock.
Oh, that's you.
Oh, okay.
Rock.
Dark
You just
blast.
get spells when you like. Ah!
Oh, what was that?
Jesus. Oh, can I steal?
Divine light.
Oh, you can steal from other players. Rock. Oh!
Wait, where did that come from?
I killed Bardic.
Wait, no, I killed Bardic. Didn't you see the pop-up?
I don't know. I got a spell.
Wow, you're stealing my loot.
Oh, is it like a one-use thing?
Freeze.
Rock. I think that's fucked.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Thank you so much
No.
for the
Ray wants something from you.
Magic missile.
magic.
Yes.
Are they someone?
Okay,
I said
I
Ray
know.
wants something from you.
I just wanted to see if I.
Wait, is that the, can I have
Dark
that?
blast.
The fuck?
Scary.
I'll do my best spell
Magic
ever.
missile.
Best spell ever.
divine
Rock.
Ah!
Fuck.
Fireball. Ow. How have you got more fucking spells and shit, man? I want fucking divine shite. Magic missile.
Magic.
I hear Bardic.
Fireball.
Dark blast.
Fireball.
Whoa, dude. Magic missile.
Fireball.
Magic missile. Ready for the best spell ever? Rock.
Blast.
Rock. Fireball. Fireball.
Fireball.
Freeze. Oh shit. Magic missile. Oh god.
Fireball.
So my guy has a choke.
Okay, I killed. I think. Where the fuck? Who are you? Oh, Rock. Rock.
Magic missile.
I killed him. Did I get anything? Fuck, I died.
Fireball.
Yeah, I was running that milk. If you can like add the pages. This is a discovery game, okay?
Hello. I can put back. Yes.
Worm. Worm? Do you have the Dark Blast? Can I have Dark Blast?
No, I died. I don't have it anymore. You
Man.
just have to give shit to the little gnomes in the town in the center.
Like random shit?
Yeah, just random shit. I gave them my book on accident and just gave them
Oh, the
like, some
flag!
soup.
Hey, put it up, put it up.
What ammo flags?
Yeah, there you go.
By the way, Rice asking if you can join.
We'll get imbalanced, but I guess if he has like someone else, would be better.
I can join.
Magic missile. Wingardium Leviosa. Jesus!
Thunderbolt.
You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do?
Oh shit, it takes so long.
Torch! Torch! Torch!
Fireball.
Melee attack! Melee attack! Fuck.
Freeze.
Oh my gosh, thank you,
Who's that? Who's
William,
that?
and
Who's
thank
that?
you, Shannon.
Magic missile.
Magic missile.
Oh fuck, I died. Oh, I need to know like how to, because I know you can get like an Excalibur sword.
It doesn't. I'm glad that was recharging. Oh my god.
Yeah, you shouldn't say that.
Hole.
Hello? Thunderbolt.
Fireball.
You know what?
Oh fuck.
Freeze.
Zack last.
Fireball.
Fireball. Oh fuck, I missed. Magic missile.
Freeze.
Oh no.
Fireball.
Evans, fuck. I killed her! What the fuck? Like nuclear bomb.
I just fried the corpse again. Oh, wait, I need to loot someone. I just noticed. I need to get some. I need to get the book back. Please give me a book.
Wait, how did you lose your book? What the fuck?
Okay. Snowy's here somewhere, I think.
I'm dead. I'm fucking dead, bro. Magic balls. It would be so cool if they allowed you to like hybrid the spells. You could be like magic balls.
The range isn't high enough. The range is not high enough.
Friend or foe? Friend.
Hi.
Hi. I have something for you.
I'm so
Rock.
dead, man.
I have a rock. Do you want a rock?
Oh wait, how to use it? Rock.
How is the game? It's really fun.
You just have to have the page in your hand and say the word, yeah? It's like the book. I'm gonna try.
I'm fucking dead, but it's
The
fun.
trading is so good.
Yeah. Well, you can keep trading the rock for something. Oh shit! Oh, okay, it's recharging.
You can keep trading the pages.
You can trade the
Yeah,
pages. I need to
exactly.
figure
That's
this
how I
out.
got my. That's how I got my. That's how I got the Thunderbolt again.
I'm so dead.
Also,
Revive
what are the
me.
others doing? Also, Shake, thank you so much for the TTS. I
Thanks,
appreciate it.
I'm gonna trade.
If you drop the page and someone else pick it, just drop the cooldown. No LB.
You know what? He's gonna get my. Oh shit! It's so dark.
Yeah, I cannot see anything anymore.
What can I get? Oh, what is this?
Hey, take more shit.
Oh, it's so divine.
What the fuck?
Oh, that's healing. That's healing.
Fireball.
Awesome. Oh!
Divine light.
Thunderbolt.
Magic missile.
Rock.
This game is actually like terrifying.
Shit, I took full damage.
Fireball.
Divine.
Magic missile.
Uh-oh. Not good, not good, not good.
I cast explosive diarrhea.
Divine.
I got Kevin, but they traded with Bardic.
Thunderbolt.
Magic missile.
Alright, the Thunderbolt is
Put him in his
actually
place.
insane. Use Thunderbolt! Oh, he just killed himself.
Yeah,
He's alive!
Thunderbolt.
Oh, by the way, chat, I watched the Bad Guys. Oh, fuck. I watched the Bad Guys 2 movie, by the way. It's fucking amazing. Go watch it. I'm not joking. It's a kid's movie. There's so much sexual tension on the stupid movie. It's so stupid. Like, it's insane.
No idea what I'm doing.
You keep forgetting about the flag.
Escape.
So, okay, apparently you can trade spells if you go to the little guys. You can give them things.
You know what? My teammates
That
are
was beautiful.
the best part of the team.
Why won't you let me play again?
The Thunderbolt is not that
Do we need to
competitive when you don't
restart?
have any other spells. Okay, never trade your spell book. Never trade your
Yeah,
spell book.
I did-
That's a
I
really
did that.
bad idea, apparently.
And he gave me a fucking frog when I did it for the first time. I was like, can I have that back, please? And then Bardic bombed them all.
I suck at that.
Also, I love that on the 22nd of February of 2022. It's like
Well, we have Zal, I think, left.
Oh, this game. Oh my god.
This is quite silly.
I heard there's
Wait,
Vor.
did-
There is Vor.
I killed my audio.
Zelda?
Okay, do not sit on your. Do not sit on your.
Let's see if he crashed. We're leveling up. This is getting insane. I keep playing, it does nothing.
Wait, are
I
you
think
also
for
good
Zelda we're
or
gonna have to
you-
restart every single time.
No.
Alright.
I'm gonna mute the Discord audio again and
There you go. Meow, 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 meow,
I
meow.
think Snowy still has the Discord audio muted anyways. I
Meow.
just wasn't sure.
Meow.
Crimson! Hi, Crimson! And
Bro, we can hear Raccoon. We can hear everything Raccoon says.
Neo, I am not Baden-Württemberg.
Well, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this.
Oh, what the fuck, Snowy? Why would you share? Why would Snowy share the chat? Oh no. Undeafened? Okay, undeafened again. Yeah, what is happening?
Hello? No, I'm just getting your attention.
Okay. Oh, so
I was saying because this game kind of sucks with lobbies, we just deafen and undeafen at the end just to like kind of sync up because it will break a few times.
Wait. Ah, okay. I see. So we just full mute and then.
Yeah, we just full mute
listen
and then
to it.
like unmute because otherwise it will wait a lot because it just
Alright.
breaks all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably
Alright.
the
Brilliant.
best.
Thank you. Also, yes, yeah, you're right.
I will end.
Really here.
Do you want
Yeah.
me to finish to stop full chat?
I don't know, like right now it's fine, but if there are more messages, since I can't keep up with the messages, I don't know. It could be fine, maybe it's not fine, maybe it is fine, who knows? I guess we can try for now.
Fuck it, rebel. Okay, who's missing?
I
Bandit
cannot see who's
and
chat
Bardic.
because my chat app doesn't have the Tillman,
Hello?
thank you for the gigantic beans.
We have a new code, Bardic and Bandit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
already.
okay.
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 Okay. Can you fucking be patient, Snowy? Jesus Christ.
No. I gave you time to take a shit. That's enough.
Excuse you. You don't get to be in charge of my bowels, okay?
What are we in charge of? Hello, I see. Hello, we stealth. I am a Snowy viewer. Okay, I am going to try to trade shit. I need to find the trading guys. Okay, we're missing Bardic. There you go. Okay, my goal this game is going to be to trade as much shit as possible.
Give me some shit, some stuff to trade.
I want better
I don't know
crap.
how to play this game. I still don't know how to play this game. I need someone to teach me. I keep just shooting people and
You just say
that gay
things,
as
yeah.
fuck.
Sadly not gay enough.
Go up, go up. Come on. So we gotta be careful and we gotta keep the flag up because otherwise we don't respawn. But what my plan is, Bartek, is I wanna see where's the middle. There's like little guys and you can trade stuff and they give you pages.
Yeah, I think it's here.
Hey guys,
Okay.
hey guys, this is my graveyard. You're not letting me hear Fireball.
Fireball.
Magic missile. Magic missile. Magic missile.
No, you're not allowed to. Nope,
Fireball.
Nope. Fireball.
Fireball!
Magic missile.
Freeze. Where's the little guys? Where's the little guys?
Nope. Magic
Fireball.
missile.
Magic missile.
Magic missile!
You're right, where
No
the
spells for you. No
yeah,
spells
no,
for
I
you.
think this changes.
No spells for you. Come here. Come here. Come here. Fireball!
Where's the small
I
ones?
think it changes. The map looks different.
Yeah, it's a different map, but they have to be here somewhere.
Maybe castle? Castle? Maybe
In the
castle?
there's a forest. No,
Oh,
there's a
there.
forest. Wait, maybe here. Yeah. Probably.
Probably here. Fireball.
I mean, if you're American, you're never gonna have that problem.
Magic missile.
No.
Oh, there's a flag. There's a flag. There's a flag.
Fireball.
Fireball.
Magic missile.
Freeze.
Why is it so sloppy?
Fireball.
Magic missile!
Oh shit. Magic missile.
Magic missile.
Fuck.
Magic missile.
Fireball.
There's like no little creatures anywhere.
Fireball.
Fireball. Magic missile.
Fireball.
Have it? Are you evil?
Fireball!
Fireball.
Oh
shit.
Magic missile.
Freeze. 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 Alright, fuck it. I'm finding the little guys. Oh. Ah, that was a bird. God damn it. Hello? Hello? With a mushroom? Mineral. Star. Oh, maybe here? Okay. Listen. No.
Freeze!
Magic missile. Fuck.
Fireball.
Magic!
Magic
Fireball!
fireball.
Fireball.
Don't gang up on me, Magic!
I
Freeze!
didn't say anything.
Fireball!
Fuck.
Fireball.
God damn it. Okay.
Magic missile.
Why the hell? When I want to trade crap, there's no one to trade with.
The sorcerers have captured the warlock's base.
Why does it sound so sus? That sorcerers are captured the warlock's base. The levitator can be used on the wormhole to kidnap a... What the fuck is a levitator? Levitate. No. They have to be on the other side. Fire fuck. Fire fuck. No. White and blessed. Did Kevin find them? Kevin? Kevin?
Are we better? Yes?
Did you find the little dudes?
And now I found a mirror to talk to.
A mirror? Oh!
Mirror,
Mirror,
mirror on the
on the wall. Who's the
It's not
gayest of
gay.
them all? Oh, okay.
Okay.
Does Kevin have a... Okay, shut the fuck up. Okay.
Finally.
Do I have a big dick? Oh, well. God damn it.
Fireball!
Hey, I'm talking to the mirror, man.
Fireball!
Nope,
Fireball.
nope, magic missile.
Magic missile.
Magic missile!
Magic missile.
Fireball!
Fireball, 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 fireball,
Magic missile.
fireball! Fireball! God damn it.
Ow,
Freeze.
They want me dead.
Magic missile.
Magic missile. I need fireball.
Fireball.
Run around.
Is there nothing to trade? This game sucks, man. Spell issues. Ooh. Maybe they're hiding? Oh, there's a whole red map we didn't see yet.
A sorcerer has been slain.
Fireballs. Fireballs. Magic missile, magic missile, magic missile. Oh, someone's over there. Fireballs. Caw-caw! Oh, they're eating the soups. Oh, what is this? What is this? Hold on, hold on, hold on. This is a mausoleum? I just entered the mausoleum. Man, I entered a mausoleum exactly when we were born. I'm sad.
swear I am just a distraction for the other team at this point because I have no fucking idea what I'm doing.
Because I'm not
Nobody's
fucking
recapping
American, so I have to
points.
say Divine Light 7 fucking times.
Divine.
I'm just running around.
don't even-
You
I-
all ganged up on me. I was so mean. It was 3 versus 1.
I don't. There's no like markers or like map or anything. I don't know where
I gotta
anything is.
explore.
Press Q for the map.
Okay, what is this? Just a wizard arena in the sense of like we kill each other, or and steal bases, or is there more? Like what?
You can go around the map and trade
I'm
things. You
confused
get
as
new
well. It's
spells.
just. Aye, yeah. I'm gonna go with that. I'm also a little bit confused. Aye.
I have no
It's like,
idea.
what
I
if it
just
was,
keep shooting you guys, and I suck at everything but fireball.
No, the magic missile is out the way.
It's like if
Magic
Lethal
missile is
Company
tracking,
was
you just have to be within range.
a mage. Yes.
Sorry, I can't. It's two of you keep answering my questions at the same time, and I don't hear
Sorry.
what the answer is. Help.
No, no one answers.
So you can press Q for your map,
Yes.
and you can capture points. There's a flag hidden at each point. If you capture that, you get resources back at your base. You need to make sure
Okay.
you keep your base capped with the flag in the center so you can respawn.
Okay.
And then
That makes more sense.
magic missile is tracking, but only if you're within range.
Okay.
The other ones are just aiming and timing.
Or you can just go fireball non-stop. Also works.
That too. And then worm hole are two separate spells for teleportation. Worm for point A and hole for point B.
I gotta say worm hole.
Yeah.
Or just scream hole.
And also, I thought I changed the setting that maybe fixed it, but
it did not. So we do have to do another lobby.
All right, let's go. We love doing lava always. It's gonna
I
like
don't know
ping
why,
everyone
but anytime
again.
I hit like play again, it just does nothing.
Weird.
Meow, 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 meow. I put the new code. More copies.
Oh.
Yay.
Do not create a lobby. We're gonna join a lobby. We don't want to create one. There we go.
Meow, pa, 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 pa. Pa, 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 pa.
Also, a frog and a log combined
What are we
creates a stick that you can use to steal whatever's in somebody's hands.
How the fuck do you just stick? What? How do you know that?
I just any two items can be combined into something at the log at your base, and every time I just grab two items and combine them and see what happens.
Yeah, you stole my book.
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. I was trying, and you just click and hold, and it puts the stick with the frog out, and its tongue slowly comes out, and then it just looks very a little weird as you run over to try and steal the book from somebody.
Okay, who's missing? We have Bandit and Bardock.
Oh.
Yeah,
But are we
Nico.
doing 4 versus 3 now?
Or okay. Yeah, I mean we have one slot left for the 4v4. We can put the newbies all on the same team, and they get the advantage. There you go. That's best.
Wait, how much have you played this game so far?
I just played today and like one other day. It's just a test. All I
just
know
did
is
the
screaming
tutorial right
fireball
before
and finding things.
Jumping in.
How have you played the tutorial so far? What apart from what we played now?
I found a an entrance thingy, a mausoleum, whatever the fuck that's spelled, and you could get in. But as soon as I got in, the game ended. So I don't know what the fuck.
There's the lava castle that has really cool spells at the top of the towers, but there's AI that attack you in there too.
Oh, so that's what those fuckers are.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we do this?
And the
Let's
worst part
see,
is they're
we have-
AI that are just sorcerers, so they look like sorcerers as well. They're
Yeah,
not
they
their
look like
own
you.
design.
Okay, I think this is cool. If it's not, you let me know, and then we can switch. Alright, boys. Can I combine like? So, how does? Oh, there's a crafting like. There's a.
Hi.
Oh wait, is that a rock?
I couldn't see.
Does anyone have a rock?
Can I turn off that fucking voice? Holy shit.
It's a default microphone.
I got it! Hey.
Yes. What the fuck is that?
Hey.
I don't know, levitate? Levitator? I don't know how this works. Levitate! Fly! Excuse me? It's called the levitator and it does nothing. Mushroom. How do I use this? A walking stick?
Yes, crafting material. Oh.
If I put this and then I put this, I got the fungal staff. Oh, I can jump. No, okay. All right, let's find the dudes to.
Mirror on the wall. Mirror on the wall.
Levitator, please.
Mirror.
There's a mausoleum over there. Okay, I found the forest. Levitate. Levitation. Staff. Okay, this crap. There's a mausoleum. Hold on. Oh, this is cool. How does the fucking levitator work? is fucking scary. Hello? Hello? Oh! 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 Oh, what the fuck? Fireball! Fireball! Did I kill him? Oh! Yes! Artie! I got it, chat. I got it. I got it. I can do the thing. Thank you so much, fucking Artie. Holy shit. Okay, okay, okay. I can do the thing. I can do the thing. I can do the thing. I can do the thing.
Enter.
Hello? Biden blessed. Holy shit. Marco.
Holy shit.
Fireball.
No! I had the Biden blast. Oh.
Wait a second.
No! Fuck! I literally killed that for... What, my boys? We gotta flag here somewhere. It's like there. The frog bug. Oh man, where's my Biden blast? Magic missile. Am I alone? I feel like I'm alone. Okay, okay, let's do this and this. What the fuck? Gollum? What do I do with you? Oh, hi! You want this? You just turned into a rock. Okay. What the fuck is happening? It turned into a rock! Mushroom Man. Can I put the Mushroom Man with this guy? No. I kinda wanna eat it. Mushroom Man? Mushroom Man. They keep turning into stupid rocks. Marco? I have no... I think my map is broken.
Fireball!
Ah! Fireball! Fireball! Fireball!
Magic missile.
Magic missile? Fuck, that's not magic missile. Fuck! Fuck! Magic missile.
Magic missile.
Oh, so this is the place where you can trade crap.
That was so bad.
Take this.
Okay, little creature, take this.
Grass creature.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Fireball.
It's okay, truce, 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 truce! No! You asshole! Oh, they saved me, they saved me.
Reclaim their base.
Oh, I get it. The red ones are the ones we don't have. That makes sense. So if I go here, is there a base though? Cock. Worm.
Fireball.
Magic missile.
Fireball.
Fireball.
Oh, fuck. Oh my god, that was so close.
Man, they're hogging the material for us. I'm sad.
First kill. Also, I think that he's.
Guys.
Warlocks have reclaimed their base.
Guys. Let's see if I can get the Biden again.
Epic burn.
This is fucking scary. Hello? Oh! 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 Fireball! Like a stupid horror game. Holy shit. Ah, he's alive! Magic missile. Freeze. Okay, sure. That person? Okay, we can do this, we can do this. I can see. I don't think this is very productive. It's like mega looted. Oh, yeah, we're doing it by voice, yes. It's part of the game. Wait, how the fuck do I get out of here? Oh no. Fireball. God. I don't know what I am. I think I'm killing myself. Okay, let's go over here. Yeah, makes sense, right? Oh, yes. Okay, 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 okay. Now, I just need to find out how to live. Here? Yes. Okay, 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 okay. This is good. This is good. This is good. Yes.
Hello. I have Excalibur back, but my frog is gone.
Oh. We only lost
Hello.
one item, maybe?
I have just.
How the fuck do you have Excalibur? Do you know how to use it?
No, how do you use it?
Say Excalibur sword.
Excalibur sword.
Yeah, there
Doesn't
you
do
go.
anything.
You just
Did
punch
I
them.
clutch up and respawn you guys?
Huh?
Alright, I got my favorite spell, so we should go kill them.
Excalibur.
Ah! Hello. Oh, okay, I have it back.
Wait.
I think you just bonked them, literally.
Excalibur.
You just
Do I?
bonked them. Ah, stop! What the fuck?
Well,
What the fuck?
now we know how that works.
What the fuck? My
God, I
dark
wish I would
blast,
have
I'm
been
so
capturing
sad.
that. Oh my god.
Oh, is I clipped that.
Oh.
I can't take it out of my hands anymore.
I'm upset. Oh, we got a
Magic,
shit
magic
hybrid
missile.
bug.
Wait, what?
Get away with that! Get that fucking
Fireball.
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 Oh shit! I killed Zelda.
Magic.
Come on, Kevin, say Excalibur.
Oh, magic missile! Fireball!
Magic
Fireball!
Fireball.
Firefall!
Oh, what is
That's so fucked up!
Oh my god, Excalibur is so fucking good.
What does it? I got.
He just.
sword.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Oh.
Oh my.
Oh, catch you! I'll catch you! I'll catch you!
Nice catch.
Every time I get this stupid Biden blast, I get fucking destroyed. I'm so
They just
sad.
die instantly. That's good to know. Yes.
Hey, it was worth it. That was a nightmare trying to get out of that stupid maze.
I feel so bad for killing Snorri.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm sure you'll understand.
Let's get a base.
Yeah, please revive me.
The sword has
Whoever the base is, I actually don't know where the base is.
The sword has a range attack too, apparently.
Oh. None of you have a healing spell, right?
I don't think so.
Ah, sad.
No, I mean fireball, technically.
Please don't. Where's the base?
I don't know. Kinda lost it.
They're so lost.
Yeah,
I
me
love
too.
it.
I've been trying to find it. I think that back there's ours. Oh, over here, over here, over here.
I can hear them. I can hear
That man
Bardic
looks so menacing wielding the sword. That's so broken though. That sword is broken.
No.
Excalibur.
Okay, can I harvest them like this?
Fireball!
Hey, I'm not ready!
Magic missile!
Fireball.
Magic! Freeze!
Fireball! Fireball! Fireball!
Fireball.
Magic!
Magic missile!
Fucking Kevin.
I'm so sorry.
I went down the mausoleum. I killed that. I came back out with my favorite spell, and he just stabbed me. What the fuck?
I did not insta kill, just vaporized you.
Picks up a massive sword. What does it do? Stabs me. What the fuck?
It's hilarious on my end.
The mushroom stick was amazing.
I saw that. It fucking fully heated him.
I keep just making items and trying to run up on people with them.
Bro, that cemetery thing where you go downstairs, that's terrifying. I feel like I'm playing a horror game there.
I think I only killed one teammate this time. I'm improving. I'm very proud.
So I assume we have to do a new lobby probably because you die, blah blah blah.
Yeah, no, it
thing.
it definitely just doesn't let me leave the game. It's like play again, yeah, and it just goes no.
Do you want to play again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with me.
That's a new code, new lobby. It's kind of annoying, but whatever. I hate you so much,
New
Kevin.
lobby, let's go.
I know.
I worked like the whole round. The only thing I was doing is finding the stupid dark blast.
I'm so sorry.
But it's so good because you can say like, you can literally do the meme. You just go Biden blast, and he goes whoa.
Does it actually work?
Yeah, it does. You can like whoa.
Oh my god. God, I didn't try to do when I have to try it next time.
Oh, with the dark blast.
Yeah, you say Biden blast, and then whoa.
Wait, is that why you yelled that behind me? Because I heard you do that earlier. I wasn't sure if that was you.
Yeah, it goes like whoa. It's like a massive ray. This game is like
Oh
$3
my
on
God.
Steam, by the way. It's really fun. For the price,
Yeah,
it's
it's
worth
definitely.
it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the main
that's true.
reason why I bought it, just because it was super cheap. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
I want
it's-
to try that.
Bartek,
Hello!
Thank you.
we have a new lobby.
Drinky. Nom, nom, nom.
I think I've got like one more game in me, I'm not gonna lie.
No. You're level 5, you mean blue boy. Yeah, if everyone wants to live, it's fine, by the way. Don't be stuck in my basement just because.
Why is my rank?
I'm happy to be tied in your basement as long as it's...
Not a good basement.
I have
It's
no
not a bad
idea. I was gonna
basement.
start a bit and I've literally got no bit.
I can feel the tiredness on you. Like,
It's like, I was like, yeah, I'm down to stream. And it's just like, I was so not prepared to do this today, even though I signed up for it.
I mean, if you leave, we gotta even if you want to. If you wanna go rest.
Oh, fuck yeah, I'll leave now. Piss off, bitches. Bye!
Well, we lost.
There he goes.
He did a fucking subathon for 1 month. I completely forgot when he said yes to this.
Yeah, I think he deserves a break.
Nah, no breaks.
Wait, Kevin.
Crazy.
Yes,
Please don't stab me.
I try to.
Oh, wait, you guys want to be together, of course. There we go. You're welcome.
Wow.
Oh fuck! Bennett was in the room,
You
right?
can just make Argentina now as flag.
Making Argentina. What? The
What?
Wait. Like, keep the middle
Morty,
right. Then we just
so
make
much,
a little,
man.
little
Super
yellow
fun.
symbol for Argentina.
Yes, me.
Hi.
How the fuck does the Argentine flag go back?
Raccoon. I have a plan.
Yeah.
Also, screw
Like white
you
and
for
blue, I think.
screw you,
Like a
Raccoon, for
sunlight,
hoarding the traders, man. I was so sad.
Yeah.
What? What do you mean with the traders?
I went to the trade people, and then I'm like, Raccoon truce, and he just went fireball and killed me.
You scared me. Okay. You scared me.
For Argentina.
I was like, Raccoon truce, and then he just like murders me.
Okay. Screw the items. I'm bad with the items. I don't know how to handle them. No, I'm just gonna grab a mushroom because.
Does anyone know how the I made the frog sword.
Oh wait, I wanna try. Yes.
A sword.
Boink.
A sog.
Boink.
I made a
Boink.
sog.
Let's go.
Okay, where's the trader people? Oh, it's right here.
Wait, what? Are there trader people here?
Yeah, it's the forest over here. We can hog it already. Let's go. Oh my god. Traders? Oh. Okay. Hey. There we go.
Yeah, I tried
Divine light.
Okay, what does it give me?
God damn it. Divine light.
Great! Thank you so much for the
Divine light.
for the log.
Divine light. Divine
That
light.
was really good.
Divine light. What the fuck?
Whoa!
I'm one head dead.
Alright, you can have my torch.
Using divine light to heal. Sorry, using divine light to heal.
I don't divine light. Yay! Okay. I have my favorite thing. Raccoon. Biden blast.
Holy shit!
You almost killed the little guys.
Ah, that's fine.
Great. Yeah, but no, he has my stuff. I wanna get another spell.
Oh, they're on our base, guys. They're on our base. I can see them. They're on our base. Fireball.
Not good. Yeah, wait. Yeah, I need to trade my item to get something. I'm gonna be right there.
Fireball.
I'm on a cooldown. Magic missile.
Fireball. Yeah, I don't like them anymore.
Fireball. Okay, we did it.
Biden blast.
Fireball. Didn't work.
Fireball. Magic missile. Freeze.
Fireball.
Fireball.
Oh my. Holy shit.
Guys, I need help. Oh shit. Divine light.
Fireball.
Fireball. I'm too powerful to die. Magic missile?
Fireball.
Magic missile. Fireball. Fuck. My spell.
Fireball.
No.
Oh, my magic
Oh
missile.
fuck, they got our base.
Freeze.
Everybody.
Fireball.
Fireball.
Sorry.
My neighbors are gonna fucking hate me.
Magic.
They're trying to sleep and I'm like, fireball.
Ah, stop it! Wait, am I on your team? Freeze.
See, that's the name tag.
Am I on your team? No! Oh no! I didn't realize the freeze does damage! Oh shit! Oh no! Oh, that's bad. Okay, let's go back to the gnome town. I want to trade my book again.
No, Raccoon, you need to revive. You need to revive.
Oh, we gotta say sorry to we're gonna say sorry
Raccoon,
to.
get our flag.
Bandit.
We dead.
Oh,
Still haven't done anything.
get our flag. We all. Flag. Where's our flag again? Wisp. Wait, where's our flag again? Where's our flag?
Top.
Oh, it's there.
Right,
okay,
I
okay, okay. I'm
think.
running.
You're running. Who you running from?
Magic.
Magic?
Nah, he's going to the wrong side. It's on the other side.
Wait, what? Where's our? What? Where's our base? Top right.
Someone tell Raccoon it's on the top right.
I'm
It's
so
on the top right
lost.
thing.
Hey,
Magic.
wait, don't kill me. Don't kill me.
Oh,
Don't kill me.
Yep.
Watch this. Watch this. Watch this.
Fireball.
Oh, what the fuck? Wisp. I don't know
I
what
am
this
the
one does.
infinite.
Magic missile.
Magic.
How is he flying? Is he flying? I want to fly.
I fly away from danger. I'm a coward.
Thunderbolt.
That's fucking crazy. You just ruined Raccoon in that Thunderbolt. Holy shit.
I did absolutely nothing that round. I just flew around with my.
How do you activate that thingy? I made the stick, but I couldn't fly.
So it's a crystal and a wood, and you just aim at your feet, and it lets you. You're not supposed to be able to use it on yourself, but you can, so you can just fly around.
Oh, I tried. It didn't work.
No, I could not find the base. I had no idea where I was.
It was at top top right.
Yeah, I got
Square.
completely lost. I
I'm
have
gonna
no
fully
idea.
restart
Also-
my game and see if maybe that fixes the.
Yeah,
joining
see if
thing.
you can use the same code. I also love that they were like, don't shoot Raccoon, and then Kevin appears out of nowhere. Fireball!
Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay. I guess I'm gonna look at what's happening, and then yeah. This was a
It
shit
was
round.
such a good moment. I just saw you guys talking and I was like behind your lines.
We need to,
I
if
was
anyone
running
gets
in circles.
Thunderbolt,
The map needs a direction indicator or something. I just see the dot and I don't know which direction I'm looking at or running. in, so I
true,
have
it's
to
just
pick
a
the map
dot,
up, walk
yeah. You
around.
gotta
Yeah.
like do a circle to know.
Exactly, that cost so much time, and then I went in the wrong direction. And because I thought our base wasn't that tall, and then it didn't look like that. Because
Raccoon, we need to do a bit.
Like, oh.
If you get Thunderbolt, you have to come near me because I want to go Pikachu, use Thunderbolt, and you're like Thunderbolt. Pikachu, I choose
my
you,
God.
Thunderbolt. It's so funny, Volpin. It's good if you have friends though, because if you're not, I mean, there's a lot of people playing. I guess I played with a few Norwegians randomly. I think this game has a lot of.
Large
Nadia?
number. Or sorry, can't join.
Okay,
Full.
last from your lobby.
Your lobby.
But next
You
round, well, let's see if it lets me leave after doing a restart.
You're so amazing that you need more space. You need a new lobby for you.
But freeze
Yeah.
damage is
With
more
my
than-
ego, I need the biggest
Yeah,
lobby
really.
available.
Huh.
Freeze damage is more than
Interesting.
breaking them out. Oh wait, so wait, do we freeze and then fireball?
Apparently, just leaving someone frozen does more damage than blasting them free with fireball.
Oh, it's probably like damage over time.
Yeah, I think it is. Also, Isolde, I think I killed you by accident. I got so scared, and I was like, okay, freeze does probably no damage, right? So I'm just gonna freeze. So I
Oh
have
no,
time to
it
look.
wasn't me that was. I didn't die.
No,
I
you killed
I literally
Bandit.
was just flying around the entire
Oh, it's
time.
Bandit.
I
You
saw
killed
them,
Bandit.
like-
You were like, are you on my team? And just murdered them.
I
I
just...
just-
Okay, I didn't realize freeze does damage. I thought it was a stun.
But yeah, the names are red if they're bad guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is the names are purple for the good people. It looks too
Yeah,
close
I know.
to red.
It's very like it should have been just like blue.
Raccoon, the bad ones are screaming fireball at you. Just so you know.
But teammate was doing fireball as well. How am I supposed to know?
So
The
far,
best-
my favorite item is the mushroom and crystal. It creates the shrink ray, and it makes everyone's voices that shrunk super high pitched.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if you have
My
in your
favorite-
chest a crystal and a mushroom, just shrink your team. It doesn't do damage.
My favorite
just
is when
shrinks the
someone is
ego.
saying they're saying fireball, but then they die and so like fire fuck.
Yeah.
Fire fuck.
Well, it still casts the fireball half of the time because when you say fire, it still works.
Well, Raccoon,
I
join
wanna
my team.
try
I wanna
something with the
use you
flag
as a
here for a
Pokemon.
second.
Okay, I'm.
Oh, can. Oh.
Okay, it does nothing. Never mind.
But okay, but no. Okay,
You know what? Fuck it, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
But no enemies.
It's fine. 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 Just don't kill me. Easy.
No, I'm gonna Pokemon you.
Okay, boys. Mushroom and crystal. Let me see. I grasp the shrink ray.
Whoa, I will.
Wiggly wibbly, we are now tiny.
What the heck? I have a crystal shock. What just happened? Oh.
Avada Kedavra. Doesn't work. Right, I'm gonna go trade. Ah, I think this map has no trading.
Oh, and smaller.
How do I make you big? It looks awful.
I think they have trading on their side.
Fireball.
Fireball.
No. You're a little guy. You're just a wee guy. Fireball.
Fireball.
Magic missile.
Fireball.
Magic missile.
Fire magic missile. Magic missile. Why can't there be spots?
It's accent problems.
Fireball. It's tiny. Get him.
Magic
Magic missile.
It's a 3D1 response.
Fireball.
It's so small.
No. Fireball.
Oh no, you guys are fucked.
Magic missile.
Fireball.
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 I hear them. I hear them.
What's that noise?
Look what I have.
May
Look
have-
what I have.
May have placed a trap.
Oh.
Worm.
No, if you don't stop scaring me, I'm gonna send your magic after you.
Hole. Ah! Fireball! 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 It doesn't fucking work! Fireball! Magic missile! Fuck! Magic missile!
Magic fireball.
Magic missile!
Fireball. Freeze.
I hate my
That's
accent.
me. Stop. Oh, sorry. You're small. I'm sorry. Your name looks tiny. Honestly.
Whoa. Hands.
Oh my, we're dead. They got our thing.
Arcanine? I know, right? Let's go on Arcanine. Oh, Arcanine, like the Pokemon.
I don't think we're gonna make it yet. Valid is fucked.
There's no name tags on this bloody game.
They're never gonna find Rowlet.
Alright,
Hi, Flame Sonic. How you be, man?
What are you talking about? Why am I half the size of shit? You've made me tiny. Pick me up. Oh, hi. Oh.
The accent, well, tiny is amazing, man.
Apparently this wood piece didn't shrink with me. My screen is massive. It covers like half of my screen now.
Also, I learned what this does. This just creates a fog of war.
Come on, Rowlet.
Fireball.
Do it.
Tiny.
No, no!
And they fell.
Oh my god.
damn it, Violet.
I tried.
You
I spent like 2 minutes trying to climb out, and then I get sent back in right away. Amazing.
You walk backwards into it, so it's kind of your fault.
I've never played this game, man. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Nobody knows what the fuck
That
they're
was
doing.
my LG. I've had enough time.
No luck. No luck leaving.
Oh, you leaving?
I've had my fun playing as a wizard. My brain's scrambling.
Oh.
It was so funny hearing her accent while being small.
Such a silly game.
I gotta rewatch this VOD. But yeah, thank you so much.
Right.
Hope you had fun.
Thank you for having me.
Hello.
Next time you play, let me know.
Hopefully it's gonna be not in the middle of the week.
This game is silly.
Good night.
There's so much to find out too with it as well.
Yeah, there's so much crap to do if you don't kill each
Bye.
other. Bye.
Play.
Bye.
Master gonna go now. Need to go eat.
Okay, is the whole lobby dying now? Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna dip as well.
Wow.
Alright, okay, then I'm gonna-
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry.
Oh, Snowy, I'm sorry.
I'm crying.
It's late.
I'm crying. I know it's late.
Good night, Scotty.
I know it's 2 o'clock.
Streams at the middle of the week are always annoying
Gosh.
if you're European.
Well, I gotta dip as well. I might come back later if you're still on, but we'll see. But
Bye.
yeah, I'm gonna go.
Have a
Bye.
nice CRP with Kevin.
Bye bye. Okay, well, I'm gonna switch over to dating and such as well. So.
Wow, excuse me.
The game, the game.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have a date. Fuck it.
Yep.
On stream.
Stream date.
You have a stream date. Alright, bye Raccoon, bye everyone. I'm gonna dip too, I guess. It was super fun.
Okay.
It was pretty fun. Bye bye, see you around.
Meow. That was fun. That was fun. Let me switch the whole thing to just chatting before we do something else. And then remove all the beans here. And there we go. Perfect. What do you think about the game, chat? I don't think we have shared chat anymore. Yeah, okay. It's disabled. There we go. We're back to normal. Perfection. What do you think, chat? Was it fun? Gonna play next time? Yeah. If you have time, Kiro, it'll be fun. We have to play this off stream. Buy the game when I'm able. Yeah, if you guys wanna play like off stream, we can do it when I have time. I have a very busy week because like we have on my current job we have like a demo, I guess, like the first thing to show off tomorrow, and we are getting everything ready, so it's insane. It's been insane work, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. I like this job way more. Guess I'm late. You're always late. Nah, let me see. We can go. Hold on. I don't think Goods is on the VC. Let me just tell her I'm VC now. Wow. That was Major Rain. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. Gameplay always sucks to like. So, every time I play a game, I cannot interact with chat that much, and it makes me sad. Yeah, look, okay, so look at my mouth. I have the DD expression again. I don't know what this is. There you go. Hi. Say hi to chat.
Hi.
They miss
You
you.
needed me? Hi.
Wow, okay, I can
Hello.
go. Jesus.
I'm sorry, I'm eating Smash. I'm too busy numbing the Smash.
Okay, bye, I guess.
No.
Nah, bye. It's fine. It's fine.
Wow. Oh.
Everybody hates me here, man.
Why?
Because you hate me. There's so many people playing Peak. Holy shit. I was gonna
Why
say
would
we
I
play
hate
Peak
you?
next week, but today, I know. No. Friday I may stream. We have like one stream left before I go to Portugal. Meow, 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 meow.
Oh yeah, did you say when we went to the circuit? Cinema. Post office scene, I'm sorry.
You good?
No, I haven't struck. Did you
Can you help?
Did you describe me what's like a little fucking kids movie but had a lot of like sex
I
jokes in
said
it?
that there's so many sexual tension on the Bad Guys 2 movie for no reason. It's supposed to be a kids movie. No
And they're
spoils,
fucking
check.
ad.
No spoils, but go see the Bad Guys 2. It's really fucking good.
What,
It's really
can you
good.
talk about how at the cinema I did a commercial about fucking Patrick having a fucking I know 9-inch bulge.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, the 9 inches of
Yeah.
wolf. Yeah, they're selling a
No,
plushie, and they
what?
said it's a plushie.
I was not talking about. I was talking about the fucking SpongeBob movie, the commercial before the movie started.
Oh, the SpongeBob. Yeah, that one's kind of weird. Everything was weird. That's supposed to be a kids' movies, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? We're playing Drive Beyond Horizons again. I was kind of thinking about playing Drive Beyond Horizons. I haven't played anything with LJ, so we can probably do that. I'll invite
was
him eventually. I don't know how though. I don't know if he's.
Why?
Huh?
Why was Patrick fucking packing though?
I don't know. I don't know why Patrick
He
the
was-
Star had a bulge. Is that game being updated at all? You mean Drive Beyond Horizons? I think so, yeah. It updated a few bits. The support market. Last update was July 1st. They resolved black screen, rear bench sheet mounting, adjustable car seat and steering, window controls, easy ladder interaction, I guess more ladders, slot beer buff fix, okay, very important. New exhausts. Oh, you can change more exhaust stuff, cool. I said I will come back. I meant you will be back like... Well, I meant you were gonna be back like later, like in a few hours, not like now. We all dipped. It was really fun. I gotta see if I have some clips. I kept fucking dying when I had Biden Blast, which is my favorite spell. Sad.
My favorite spell is you.
Yeah, you gotta go in the game and scream Snowy VR and see what happens. I'm like in 10-15. Man, your ERP is really fast. Yeah, I keep entering into the DD animation with my... Wow. Insane.
Ugh, I have a
It was
headache.
really quick. Go in, get out. Ba-da-ba-ba-bow. Ooh, hydrate, actually. Wow. Wow.
Snowy,
Yeah.
I'm sad. I had
The
to
Biden
wait to
Blast
get another
movie.
piercing. I'm sad.
Why are you gonna wait? Stop putting so many piercings on your face.
Why?
Because, yes. I'm gonna
But
buy a
why is-
metal, like a
yeah.
fucking giant magnet and throw it at you. See what happens.
That's not how it works, but okay.
It's fine. It will work eventually.
No, piercings are magnetic.
I'll switch your piercings by magnetic ones.
Aha, cause I would feel that.
Nah, it's fine.
I will.
I'll do it fast enough.
I just wake up by you shuffling in bed. You won't be able to do that.
Try me.
Oh shit, I'm being called. Hold on.
Alright, bye. I need to spend a day on this avatar again on tracking. It looks scuffy. I need some clothes so nobody tells me I'm naked anymore. I don't think I'm like super tired. We can probably watch some memes or do something. LJ, are you free? Showering in a bit. I was thinking, do you want to play Drive Beyond Horizons like today? Like now, after your shower? I kind of want to play LJ miss. Wow. I love how we all miss each other. LJ misses us, we miss LJ, but we don't do anything together. We never go in VR. Show crotch snowy moist. What do you mean? Are you asking for a crotch pic or are you giving one? I don't understand. God damn it. But do you want to play Drive Beyond the Horizons after shower? If you like, kind of hurry up, quick. Pam, pam. Or we can just go in VR and ERP live. Fuck it, why not? Let's go. I'm joking. Nobody's gonna do that. ERP live, fuck. Of course, that's the one I got too excited. The Drive Beyond the Horizons is like, I don't know about that one, Shiv. Eating raw potatoes. Are you eating raw? Wait, what do you mean eating raw potatoes? Oh, ERP. Fuck. Isn't eating raw potatoes like kind of poisonous? I'm pretty sure it's bad for you. Are raw potatoes safe to eat? Taking a bite or two is okay, but more isn't recommended. So yeah, you can you can ERP a little bit. 1 or 2 times. Verified Rotten Tomato. The bad guys too got like a Rotten Tomato award thingy. It's cool. It's a really good movie, and they made the fox so hot. It's so like, chat. You know what? Maybe we can watch it again. I will watch it again on like a movie night. We're kind of cool. Oh fuck no! I'll be in Portugal. I have the Quest 3. I have the Quest 3 in Portugal. So one thing I want to try and do is I'm gonna see if I can join the meetups in Quest mode. Because I haven't went in those in ages. Oh. Next week, chat is gonna be insane. So I'm gonna go back to Portugal and then from the 9 to the 24. So I have my plane ticket. I schedule car airport parking. I'm not sure how it works. I was reading reviews and everyone's like all the reviews on the car parkings are just people upset. So I'm like, fuck, if they screw my car, I'm gonna be sad. But I'm gonna pay like $100 for like the parking, which honestly is not that bad. It's for 2 weeks, and I'm gonna go. So look at my plan, okay? Look at this 5-head. I'm gonna go to Portugal. I bought like a not a carry-on. What's the other type of bag? A check-in bag, like the big ones. I bought the check-in bag on the flight. I'm gonna go with the bag empty, and I'm gonna bring it full of stuff. Because back in Portugal, I have a big closet where I call it my nerd gamer closet. It has like my old PS4, PS3, PS2, like all the gaming stuff. I have my PS5, and then I'm gonna bring all of that. So I'm super scared because it's gonna be like one bag and it's massive. It's gonna have like a PS5, PS4, PS2, PS3, like all my PS Vitas and like PSP. So if that bag's lost, I will just die. Like it's literally all my memories. So I have like a bunch of AirTags I'm gonna shove on everything. I'm like so scared, bro. Mark it as fragile. I heard that doesn't do shit. Like I heard that doesn't do shit. If you mark it as fragile, it will probably just make people target it more, honestly. One thing I want to do is the Portuguese airport. They have a machine where you can put your bag in. Oh, hi.
Oh my gosh, you're so loud.
Sorry, Jesus. Okay, I can shut up.
No.
But anyway, the Portuguese airport, they have a machine where you can put your bag on it and it spins and it wraps it in like plastic, I guess. You can put a few layers. So I always thought that machine was useless. I was like, who does this? Like, what the fuck? But now that I'm bringing like valuable stuff, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm scared. I'm gonna buy a bunch of bubble wrap too. This is why like one of the times.
Bubble wrap because you just pop it.
You're gonna pop it?
You just pop the bubble wrap. I know you.
Pop, 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 pop. No, I'm gonna use bubble wrap for important things.
I know you would wrap me up.
I'm being so sus.
That was not sus. I literally meant you would try to wrap me up in bubble wrap.
I will wrap you in bubble wrap and throw you against the wall.
Again? That's not the first time.
Wait, what do you mean not the first time? What?
Yeah, not the first time.
Why did I throw you against the wall? Excuse me?
All the time.
I'm being abused.
I am.
I'm being abused. I am being abused.
I'm the one that has the bruises.
Stop! You're gonna actually make people hate me. My God. Why does okay? Why does everyone hate me lately? Like, I don't understand. I'm actually getting depressed now. I'm gonna end up with depression. It's gonna be your fault.
I just bruise it easily by sleight of touch. Like
You just
little like
bonk against anything and just dying. There you go.
my legs looks like someone tried to like I don't know beat it up.
You have that ADHD bruises where you wake up and there's bruises everywhere. And then where did you get them? I don't know. Somewhere. Alright, chat. While we think about what to do and wait for LJ to dry his balls, I'm just gonna go on...
Okay.
I just wanna go on browser and go on YouTube and we can watch some memes meanwhile. Miss some memes. Why the fuck not?
Did it tell I forced you to go out during a storm? The storm Flores.
Yeah, there was a giant storm here, chat, and I was
Yeah, it was the Flores one.
I'm speaking. I'm speaking. Let me explain.
Okay, I was just correcting.
Let me explain my POV. Okay, I was on the couch being Portuguese and like all cozy, and like there was a massive storm outside. Like everyone was dying. There was like so much rain. And then I was like, oh, we have to walk the dog. And I'm like, no, I'm not walking the dog. Fuck that. You can go. And I'm like, come on, me. And then I finally caved in. I went outside. And there was so much fucking rain. My pants got super wet. My hair got super wet. Everything got super wet. That was so windy. And I got sad.
And like
the thing is, in the morning, I have to go back home and I have to drive my car, and I had no pants, so I had to use the wet pants. So I woke up at 7 a.m., put some wet clothes on, and drove my car for like 30 minutes with wet pants. That was so fun, so much fun. I hate this.
The most funny part is like. We could warn like, oh, watch out for flying objects and anything like that. Like the trees are bending, like beyond bending. I mean, it's
one day I'm gonna be out. If I one day just died, chat, you know what happened.
Yeah, because like the stone floor is hit like nowhere, right? So it was, and I don't want to expose my area, but like let's just say we're pretty near the coast, so it's extra windy.
You don't need to say anything. Just say it was windy. That's it.
Yeah, but like explain.
You're being too specific, and that's fine. It's fine.
But when we went down the beach, like the beach was flooded, and then we just saw this small moving thing fighting for his fucking survival. His fucking grass.
Oh, they had the grass cutting Roomba on the beach. There was like massive storm, and the poor robot was just like being a slave worker cutting the grass and like getting fucked by the wind and water.
It was like it wasn't a mission. It was determined.
I was like, I'm not leaving until this grass is cut.
You see like trampoline flying, everything. Not the one that survived was the fucking the grass clipper. I have it in video too. It was so funny.
I wanted to go help him, like, come on, guy, you don't need to work anymore.
You were afraid to go down there. I was like, yeah, we can go down there. Like, no.
Yeah, no, I'd rather leave. I'd rather leave. We're not fucking LJ on stream, okay? That's illegal.
Like, when can we?
Wow. Roomba torture. Roomba enslaved.
I thought it was real funny though, like watching a flying object, trees bending, and you see this like the last standing Roomba, just alive, wearing your fucking cape, determined to clip the grass.
14.
During the awful storm.
I have not a big, but I have an event coming on the 13th. I'm gonna be in Portugal, and then it's gonna go to over here 2 weeks. But we'll see. Alright, let's watch some memes before chat fucking closes my page and be like, bro, this guy is yapping too much. Fuck him.
I'm yapping right now.
Yeah, we up too much.
I don't get too much.
Yes, you do.
No.
Hey, Thomas. Poor guitar man.
Automatisch, also Fliegen und andere Tiere, hoppla, haben gar keine
Yeah, that was cool.
Fish.
Oh, that's your arm.
Okay, that was fake. There's no way. Look at that the guy. Wait, hold on. He's fine.
That's your arm.
He was fine. We'll see.
Alright, well why don't I quickly go bang off this pocket
God?
shot so we can free up Richard on the other camera. You guys set up this
Okay,
Smack him. No, that was Gandalf.
They call me cornbread here because my husband was eating cornbread when I shot him.
What?
Oh, I need that. I need that. I need that punching bag. What? I need to get a punching bag. Oh, come on.
Whoa!
Hey, yo! Me next?
Why you send me a... How the hell did you manage to gift games after we denied because of the location change? Oh, it was like a temporary thing, probably.
Just sort of face it towards the sky, not towards the cameras. Upside down? Upside down. I've done it twice. You should have been watching. I wasn't watching.
Oh, that looks like the cat we saw when we walked into the street. The blind cat.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still kind of creepy while we talk about you just fucking appeared.
Beluga whales do not have any vocal cords.
What the fuck?
Absolute precision.
Oh no.
That's like
Precision.
literally next to 2 items. What the fuck?
About the thing on the top. Maybe some games you can't fix. Is that a shoe? Flip flop.
Oh my god, cock.
No, why is he eating the rice?
4, 3, 2, 1. Please start crossing. يمكنك العبور الآن.
Geese flying to be. You know,
Please go.
one side is longer than the other one. You know why that
Hate in
is?
Alabama.
It's got more geese on it.
I do not understand anything you said. That was so Alabamish.
It's got more geese on it.
I'd say.
Catch it.
That was just more impressive.
Oh no. Oh, those things hurt, by the way. They're heavy. No. McDonald's. Oh, dead.
That just looks fun.
Why? Oh, this looks
Oh, yeah.
fun.
Oh yeah, it's like they do like a thing. I follow them on TikTok.
Bro, this shit creepy as hell, bro. Remind me of them little gold men that be pretending, then they start moving and shit. Oh no, he a statue.
Ah, no, you're good. You're good. What is this machine? Oh, dead apparently.
Oh shit! Oh, what the?
Hey, yo, twerking.
Oh, get it? Okay.
If there's one thing I love, it's banging stuff with bottles.
What?
It was boing. It was boing like boing.
I know.
Oh my god. Oh, oh, oh.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Bro, this is like my biggest fear on pools. did like stepping on one of those filters. Yeah. Oh, that probably hurts so much. Body screen.
Oh, he has the same he has double drifted. Like Eldon.
It's the Olympic like shooting
Say
thing.
word. Say word. Say word. What's good, man? What's good, man? You impressed in this whole, man.
Paul? Paul?
Man. Say word.
Yep.
Knocked him out.
Oh, happened to me one time.
It doesn't have feet tracking.
Calabaza, estoy grabando. Puta madre, no funciona.
Oh. Nuggies? No. Nuggies.
They better dive in the fucking pool.
That was like my guitar. Yeah, that was like my guitar.
Oh.
Hey, yo.
Please smack
They
someone.
aren't coming.
Oh.
They are you.
Oh.
Uranus. Uranus. Uranus.
My anus?
Uranus. 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 Uranus.
Why the fuck
Okay.
this is...
What about your anus? What about it?
I don't
House is on
know.
fire. There's smoke and there's
You
flame.
should get it
How
checked
much
out
time
then,
do you think you
since
have
don't
to
know.
wake up the family, to call a fire?
I don't even know if I can say this, and y'all gonna laugh. And
That guy's
I'm not
dead.
gonna laugh at you. I promise you, we're not gonna laugh. When I grew up, right, and I remember.
Sippy. Oh. No, not the jeans, you idiot.
Petit déjeuner sympa ce dimanche.
Hey. That's so pretty. See all sides. Ah, thank you, unusual. Maybe I'll go to the Patreon one time. Oh, I probably can't react to the Patreon stuff. Hey, yo, fit? Of course I watched the fit one. That's the only one. Anyway.
Of course, something surprise. You're like another level of foot liking or liker.
Oh my god, that's terrifying. Look.
Mickey Mouse. Hey, so why don't you come inside my room?
Remember that video, good? We saw we were watching a compilation chat, and that was the guy that was cutting his grass, and he fell in a hole, and this thing almost fell on top of him. That was terrifying. Hi, protection boy.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Classic.
Oh, I peed. I think peed.
You don't shake the dog outside. That's kind of dangerous.
Красноармейская от лица птичьего полета.
Is that a phone? Yep. It was a phone.
Okay.
That looks so relaxing. That looks so relaxing. I did it a few times.
That looks
Aww.
comfy.
You're like,
You know you're passed out.
There's
from
no
drinking it.
fucking way.
You know you're passed out from drinking like
There's like one of those like.
That's even beyond blackout. What the fuck?
I think he's dead. Yeah, that guy's dead.
Walking around here, and I saw this little bastard. No, look at him.
A British.
Holy shit. Whoa.
Oh.
Oh. Aw, there's helping. Oh no!
Oh.
Someone was playing competitive.
Oh, look at the little legs. No. Oh.
That's a big snoot.
Magpie. Wait, no. It's like a normal bird. You don't do that.
So chunky. That's not a wolf.
That doesn't look like a wolf, I'm sorry.
Was that a beef?
Go back. Go back.
That was a beef.
Listen to the music. Remember, just listen to the music.
I'm just a...
No, I'm just a poor boy. It's also called, yeah, that thing, yeah.
That thing, my god.
Yeah.
If the pot spinning, if the what that mean if the what that mean if this pot spinning?
Oh my god. That thing. What is that?
What is that? Is that a mouse?
I'm a wizard here.
Look, me playing Majorina.
No. No, no. No.
It's like, kill me.
Why does he want to die? Oh.
That is secondary ones.
Oh.
Chewbacca.
Okay, that does not look like a dog, I'm sorry. Hey, yo.
What is this asshole? What is this asshole doing?
Dude, move your
Go.
car.
Fucking asshole, yeah. Parking.
Buddy.
You're not even this is
Put your hazards on,
2
man.
hour parking.
Oh,
No one can submit to this, but why do Labradors like always look like they have like they pay the rent and do most of the job? All Labradors they act. No, all Labradors they act like that. Like they're the one that pays the rent and all the shit.
Are they fishing? Oh, they got something. No way.
I wouldn't really eat that fish then.
Damn. Oh.
Oh, I can still swim with this.
Come on, yo, he's gonna make it.
Some of these are just so random.
How many things have been lost down that vent? Oh.
Yeah, one more. Oh no, 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 no,
I've
no.
seen this one. I've seen this one.
Up a root.
Oh, okay, never mind.
And that Porsche obviously blended the attack by the Mercedes, but
Oh yeah, that's I think they died. That's a really famous crash. That car used to fly a lot. They should have got
Are
banned.
you so cuddly?
Oh,
have a crack in your windshield and you just wanna. Oh.
Okay.
You know when you're high as fuck when you
What?
think
He's
you're
enjoying a train. They're
Let
letting
him
him
be
enjoy his
high.
tutu. Yeah. Oh. Is that Walmart?
We're good.
They're not good. No, that's so that car fell at least 3 times before then driving straight each time. I'm pretty sure one of them was a deadly crash. No, that car was like
I think
really
so.
bad.
I heard someone actually die of one of those flies.
That
Those
car
one of
was
those cars.
really bad. Like it was flying all over the place. It was so like badly designed. Okay. No, this is how you get a divorce. Oh, there you go. Bunny. No, that is not safe. That's that.
Too early, man. Too early.
Oh no.
I mean, still hit a ball, but not
Perfect.
the correct ball. Cut. Okay, no.
That is impressive.
My New Year's resolution was to stop eating Pop-Tarts.
He failed.
He's in another dimension too. Holy shit! Look at his eyes. Oh
this-
yeah. They do this to lower your like the gas from the cows. because they can become like super bloated. Like their stomach can fill up with a lot of gas to the point it can be really deadly for
Basically,
them.
she was trying to make a silly video, but then.
Yo, this.
What? Hello?
I feel high.
What the fuck did I just watch?
I don't know, I just feel high.
LJ, are you alive? My offer still stands.
I want to play Pete.
Pigs you, pigs you, pigs you. Alright, one more, one more.
No, bro. You always acting like that, bro. That's what the fuck.
Yeah, LJ just went to ERP without me. Did bro just steal his spaghetti?
Like that, bro. That's what the fuck I be.
I wanna do this. I wanna steal the spaghetti with my bare hands. Aw. Yeah, Domin, you're both big sad. I'm sad. The puppy tornado. Why do people lose their cars, man?
Oh, that was impressive. Ah, blackout. I mean,
oh no, it's gonna break. Where is he sleeping?
I don't know, but he's snoozing. Oh, no, he's dead.
Well, it's a good way to fall asleep. Oh, that's scary. Oh no, the doggo!
Yeah, can I get a McDouble? Hello?
Very small. They have
Oh damn!
Monkey backflip?
Oh, you know what I always want? I always wanted to try one of those slushy machines we have here, but I never tried.
Which one?
The big slushy machines there's everywhere, like the Slurpees or I don't know what it's called. You can bring
Slushy.
You can get a cup. Oh,
You just mean
that-
normal slushy.
Yo, bro, I
Yeah,
think you're sitting
the
on
slushy
TV
machines.
remote.
Told you.
Oh my
Oh, I
bad.
love
Do not
slushy.
enable goods has been like every time we go to the electronic shop, she was like,
Oh yeah.
ice cream machine, and
There's
just
this
stare like
this ninja ice cream
Yeah.
machine I really want to get. I
She
think
just
it's the same thing. That
she goes to
LG
the
has.
store and just stares at it, and I'm like, I'm not buying you this ice cream machine. No.
It's like the same thing LG has, but with like a
Nah,
slush
he has a
maker.
slushy. He has a slushy version.
I just want the ice cream version. But the thing
You
you
don't,
can make like
you don't have
lots of.
space. Okay.
I do. I'm moving.
No.
Again.
If you move, maybe I'll think about it.
Like I want to get it because like you can only make ice cream. You can make anything: milkshake, slushy, ice cream.
It's
like
this one. I can show you, chat. Ninja ice cream maker. It's okay. Yeah, just know my location. Fuck off, Google. Yeah, it's this thingy. Come on. Yeah, it's this.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like $200. I'm like, I'm not buying that. Yeah, this one is 1,000.
I want that.
What is this? No, you don't want that. What the fuck?
I do.
So expensive.
Oh yeah, go. Wait, go. No. Oh, okay.
It's gone.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Bring spam in Discord.
He's like a little kid. Why are you mad at me?
Off.
Oh.
What's that picture doing on the wall?
I don't know. I don't like
It's
it.
like
It's totally
one art.
impressing me.
If you think about it, like, why would you get an expensive one? Because how many ice creams you do? Because like $1,000, that's a lot of ice creams. You can get like 500 like ice creams. So maybe it's better just to buy them, like 1,000 ice creams. Then you divide by like maybe not. Okay, 300 maybe. 200 ice creams. It may actually pay. Honestly, if you eat a lot of ice creams, you may actually save money if you buy one of these.
Ready?
Zebra airdrop. And you get fat. To be honest, I'm already fat, so it's whatever. One versus zombies. No! Oh my god, this was typing. That's genius. Hey, yo, Gamba!
B.
Portable Gamba?
I want that. I'm gonna buy that.
Good, stop buying shit. Also, you do know I use your phone for face tracking, right?
Yeah, you can see me buy
What
shit.
did you buy? I was starting the
Don't
stream.
question
and
anything.
I was starting the stream and I got a notification. Congratulations on your $50 purchase in Patreon. Who did you subscribe for $50, Goods? Did you get like a higher porn tier?
Oh. No, it's the person making the ref sheet, I believe.
Oh, okay.
But
So-
I hadn't paid it. The Patreon cause
that ref sheet better like suck my dick, because that ref sheet is super expensive. It better work for itself, okay? To be honest, it's a really good ref sheet. Do you want to show chat a preview or no? I'm gonna wait.
I don't know if I'm allowed to show the preview.
I mean, you have it as a profile picture.
I mean, yeah, but remember, it's I'm still waiting for the safer work version. I mean, I can just I think I can just cross it out a bit.
Yeah, crop it. Oh my god. Same, man. Bleh. Oh, it's the guy! Hor, 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 hor. Jesus.
Just kicking it it'll open. Making it really convenient for me and no effort.
Have a nice day. God bless you. Yeah, God ain't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, you need God.
I don't.
I'm gonna pray for you.
What?
I'm gonna pray for you.
Don't you pray for me.
Don't you fucking dare!
4,
3, 2,
1, lock it up.
oh, that was so disappointing. Okay. Oh fuck! I forgot to. Oh no! Chat, I forgot to put my clothes drying. I'm gonna put a bigger meme video after this, and I'm gonna put my clothes drying. God damn it! If you leave them too much on the washing thingy, they get stinky. I forgot. God damn it!
Are you
They become soggy.
This little fucker is a rogue U.S. military asset and a danger to public safety. NORAD has deployed Reaper drones equipped with...
Hungry?
What?
Try the all-new McFuck from McDonald's.
What the McFuck? I want a McFuck.
Muck, fuck me.
We'll be moving in a counterclockwise direction. Watch me go to work.
It looks like Steve. Oh my god, someone...
Bunny used to do that. Like, actually, when it was
Bunnies
hungry.
have so much attitude.
But, like, the thing is, he didn't do that when it was food up. Like, when the food was there, he did it when it was empty. He would throw the thing.
Yeah, of course, it's empty. It's like, bitch.
Like, bitch, fill it up. Right now. I would stomp because he ate all his food.
That looks fun. What is this? Is he cooking a ham?
Like real cheese.
Oh no!
And goose. Whee!
Hey, fuckers!
Nice, Sly.
Peaceful.
I almost forgot that this was the whole point.
Oh, you beating! I'm not trying to pull out the fire still.
Hey, let's go. Together. Thank you so much, Unusual. Alright, we're gonna put street cat memes because I think they're longer. I need like a big video because I need to put the clothes off. God fucking damn it. 14 minutes should be enough actually.
I should probably get something numb because I'm
no,
hungry.
but you need to. Okay, come faster because chat misses you.
Oh.
Are you leaving now or?
Fine, I can stay.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I do this thing first, puppy. Like it's so stupid. Like I put an alarm or like a timer on my watch, and then the timer goes off. I dismiss the timer, and then I'm like, okay, I should pick up the clothes, and then I do something else, and then I forget about it immediately. I need to start putting a timer for the timer. So annoying. I'll be right back.
Oh. This is not gonna be good. What the fuck?
Hi, I'm Saul Goodman. Did you know that you have rights? The Constitution says you do, and so do I. I believe that until proven guilty, every man, woman, and child in this country is innocent. And that's why I fight for you, Albuquerque!
Okay, I'm scared.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person.
My brain's just hurting for this. Oh, far flipping off.
If you've ever wondered what a 1,000-pound cow looks like up close and in person, this is the
This is
place
not
to come.
even
Also,
funny,
if
this
you
is
want-
just scary. Same.
Why you park the car there? You can't park the car there. You cannot park the car there.
You cannot fuck the car here.
You don't do what we say. Charlotte's here but no, not you.
Mr. Krabs, start digging in your butt, twin.
What? Oh. Is this how dreams feels like? This is literally how dreams feels like.
Oh là 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 là! Eh, dis donc la sacrée esquive quoi! Incroyable!
Oh my gosh. Where can we go?
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50
What the
per
fuck?
person. That's £200 off for a family.
Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
Hi, I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
I'll tell you what, you fat.
Hello, your computer has virus.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday.
Is the guy
And
dead?
Right now, you can save £50 per
I
person.
think that guy's dead.
That's £200 off for a family of 4.
Oh, never mind. What the fuck? I am absolutely scared. I don't know what's going on. Oh. What the? Yo, my brain cells are just escaping.
Get my face, you weird.
Oh.
You are lucky. I have an odd number one.
According to astronomy, when you wish upon a star, you're a million years too late. The light you see is billions of years old, and the star is dead. But the lights in the casino respond in real time, so if your wish was to get rich, you're exactly where you need to be. The fuck you staring at?
Ah yes, that's me daily.
Sir,
Star Wars.
you should see this.
Do it squirt? Do it fart? Do it jiggle? What it smell like? Is it tight? Also, can I see it? Can you show me what I'm working with? Do it clap? Do it ripple? On a scale from 1 to 10, how juicy is it?
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
That Oh, he's just wearing jean clothes. What the fuck?
And it requires you to cause it to
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, I feel that. Singing toilet. That's just straight to hell.
No, the fuck he didn't. No, the fuck. No, the fuck he did not!
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now,
I think
you can
because of the
save
quality
£50
being
per person.
kind of shit, it's kind of funny. Lovely. I saw this one.
Who will do nothing but
Time for one more song. No. No.
Understood. I didn't understand. I never understood. I couldn't understand. I couldn't believe. I didn't understand. I never understood. I couldn't understand. I never understood. I couldn't believe it. I didn't
I couldn't
understand.
believe it.
I didn't understand. I didn't understand. I didn't
I
understand.
didn't understand.
couldn't believe it.
Nice. She is eating. And stupid. And stupid. I am just more confused at this one. This is like burning my brain cells. LJ, you should join the GC. I'm lonely. Oh, you're not supposed to hear that?
What? What?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
Did I hear pussy something?
No.
What are you talking about? I'm
Well,
most
LJ
kind of
naked?
see you. What is happening? I'm most what we do. You take so long to shower. God, what did I miss, chat? I had to rush to put my clothes. I completely forgot, man.
This is like not funny, but this is just burning brain cells.
It's street can. They burn brain cells.
No, this is like.
Why are you here peeing on Twitch chat? We can't do that. We talked about it.
What?
You like shower? You like shower more than me, though? How dare you?
You don't even like being wet.
I hate being wet. It's so annoying, man. If there was a way of being showered without being wet, I would have done it. Oh yeah, LJ, did you see the thing? I have a new art piece, chat. I'm probably gonna post it soon, but if you're a supporter, I pasted the art on the supporter channel on Discord and on Patreon and blah blah blah. It's like everywhere. If you're a supporter, you can just check the channels. But if you're not, I'll post it soon. Don't worry. Let me send to LJ. Look, LJ, I got that. It was really cheap. It was like 40.
Did you also see what I sent in DMs? Kind of important. Like
I
weird.
just realized I think one of the other arm is kind of wrong because it should be white. But that's fine. Honestly, I don't care. We had showers here. They weren't wet. You have showers that are not wet? Please give me. I require non-wet showers.
Just bathe like a chinchilla. Bathe in dust. Like rolling in dust.
I will go outside right now and roll. Not recommendable. There's one thing I used when I was driving to Norway from Portugal. I don't know if you remember. I bought a can of the dry shampoo for like the hair, because when we're on the road for like a lot of hours, we can't really shower, and it kind of worked. Like I liked it. It was kind of cool. It was kind of cool. May do it again. Because I don't like I don't like. It's not even good for you to shower every day. At least your hair. At least your hair. So I shower my hair, like I try doing like kind of alternated, like yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, maybe, I don't know.
I have to do it because my hair is so fucking thick.
The question. You're not a boss of me now. Sorry, that got into my head. But yeah, so I think I kind of want to see if I get like some dry shampoo thingies, so just in case like I need to rush or something like that, because I think I have hairtism. I was just saying. Like, wet hair terrifies me. I'm not even joking. The feeling of wet hair, I don't know how to explain.
I like it from clean hair.
It makes my body, like, wet hair makes me wanna die. Like, I'm not joking. Like, I'd rather die. Like, it's weird. It's hard to explain. That's why I like being shaved.
I just like the feeling clean wet hair. Oh, it's so nice. Especially with me that has like really thick hair.
Wait. Skyrim.
Oh no, by the gods. This can't be happening.
What the fuck? LJ likes running fingers through wet hair. Ugh, no, I hate it. I hate it so much. My whole body
please, LJ, please do it to me. I love the feeling.
You can,
please.
you can have that one. I don't care. Like I hate that.
Please, LJ, I'm begging. I like the feeling.
Anything related to wet hair, you can have it. I don't care. It's fine. Waiting for the final wave. Oh my god. I like hair wandering. Nah.
I mean,
I don't stink.
You have a
I
lot
just
of
don't like
dandruff.
wet hair.
You have a lot of dandruff.
I do, but that's not related to that.
Are you sure? Because like you barely shower your
no.
hair. Are you actually sure? Because if you barely shower your hair, it can cause.
No. Hey. Psst.
I'm here.
It's stress related.
Stress related.
Yeah. If I have too much stress, I start shedding literally. When I get super stressed, around my nose and like eyebrows and everything, it starts like shedding literally. I'm a snake. If I get stressed, I molt. No, I actually get my skin breaks out in my face if I get stressed. I went to a dermatologist about this. They got me some creams.
Why do you have an ad about men's singles? Like singles.
Men singles? What?
Men's singles. Yeah. Men's singles starting soon. Okay.
Men singles?
Yeah, men's singles. It's tennis team apparently, but sure.
Oh.
It's kind of funny.
Easy pianos for beginners. Yeah, easy. Level 1. What's the cartoon noises? Wait. What the fuck? What? Oh, we need to go watch. Wait, what?
Oh, we need to watch the Fantastic Four the new one.
Yeah, I just said it.
Oh! What is that? How you doing, Dad?
If you want to watch Goods, you're gonna buy tickets for Thursday though.
I rarely watch them. I like the material.
Holy shit, I like the material.
Is that leftover rice?
Oh, yeah.
You eat that?
Biohazard.
It takes handfuls.
You ever kill over here?
What the fuck?
You know, I'm just kind of glad I live in this basement, honestly.
Your basement is fine, just full of fur. That's because we have a dog.
A little?
Yeah.
With how
It's
much
also
Skoda sheds, I'm surprised he's not fucking bald. Honestly, so much.
I mean, it's kind of understandable. Like, yeah, he's a dog that sheds a lot, but it's also due to the size of the basement, though.
Plus, it was summer, so it's like
Yeah, it's small. Like, it's like a small area. Big dog basement. Summer, it's like yeah.
You need a robot cleaner. I told you.
Yeah, but still, I can't even buy that because we're gonna buy it when I move again. Because more space.
That's a lot of oops. Is bro okay? There we go. 219. What the fuck?
Hey, Koda. What are you doing?
I sense a nom incoming.
You could eliminate one person from your past, who would it be?
So
Yeah, August 4th, 1998. A boy in a Sears department store made fun of the way I walked.
I'd like him eliminated.
That's so specific.
Do you have any bad habits?
Yeah.
Oh, these are the guys. He has a guy telling him on the hair. Fuck, what's their name? They do a lot of these pranks. They're really fun.
I use dimethyl mercury instead of inorganic mercury salts.
One caliber my nuclear magnetic resonance device, like I'm some kind of ass.
What is your biggest pet peeve?
The biggest one I ever saw was on my aunt's Great Dane.
Pet peeve.
Yeah, my aunt's Great Dane. He had a huge pet teeth.
What?
Why won't this guy answer?
What?
Hello. Please, Mr. Mojo, sir. Could we please borrow your supercharged high-tech laser?
Oh, I hate that voice so much.
Okay, just don't bother me again. I'm trying to find my plans on how to destroy you.
There you go.
What the fuck? Man, I miss Powerpuff Girls.
I never liked it.
How does the thing go? Something, spice, and everything nice. I forgot how it goes.
I never liked it. I was a super greedy child when it comes to like cartoon
Greedy?
shows.
What do you mean greedy?
It's more like I didn't like nearly anything on the show.
Greedy? You mean picky?
Picky. Fuck.
Ah, okay. Greedy. I'm like greedy. It means you like fucking nom every show. Sugar, spice,
no.
and everything nice. Yeah. I used to be terrified of the bunny. The bunny,
I
not the
didn't.
monkey.
I
the
even.
monkey.
I didn't even like him. Like Kim Possible, SpongeBob.
You like Kim Possible? Okay,
No.
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 You don't like that?
No, she's overrated.
Aw, what do you mean? Okay, listen.
She is.
Listen. Well, hold on.
She is.
Hold on. You watching?
Why is it naked guy? Okay.
You watching? Is it
Yeah.
Jenny? No, not Jenny. Fuck. The green one. Green one. Listen. Come on.
Overrated.
This one?
Yeah.
Bro, this was what sparkled my, omega straightness of God girls.
It's because you have fucking
Yeah.
testosterone as the man.
Look at that.
As she's
Oh,
supposed
hell
to.
yeah. Man will say like, fuck my throat. Hell yeah.
I'm sorry, she's overrated.
Why?
I'm sorry. I'm gay, but I'm saying she's overrated.
Why? What the fuck? Well, I don't like you anymore. I'm sorry. Saying Kim Possible is
Oh,
overrated, I get it. Like, whatever. But like this? What the fuck?
I never liked the show either. So
It's like, no, the bodysuit stays on. I'm sorry.
yeah, but still, I never liked
I'm
the
gonna
show.
be honest, I don't remember the plot. I know they get together at the end. So they actually kiss, and as a kid I was like, whoa! And I was like, we're happy, you know. I saw one episode of it. Chad, what was your like animated crushes? There's this one. Then what else?
I didn't know my animated crush was, honestly. All I know I had a
Really?
crush on. Yeah, I didn't tell you. I never was like interested in like stuff like that. only-
This one. This one was like, it's kind of normie though, but like, it's kind of the awakening, you know. Lola.
I thought I had told you this, Noe. Like, I never really had anything.
I have safe
crush.
sense, right? There's no porn anywhere. I'm kind of scared of this. Okay, let's not be on this page, honestly.
Snowy.
Yeah.
Snowy.
What the fuck?
Okay, you get so distracted when I'm trying to speak to
Look
you.
at this thumbnail.
I saw. I'm saying like I told you this. I never really had any crush or feelings until I was in like high school. Like back then, I was pretty much like I don't know.
Until you, that's normal.
Like,
you know,
Ray
until it's normal to have your feelings develop in high school. Before that, it's kind of weird.
No, like I was not interested.
Yeah, before high school is
Like-
normal. It's just a kid. Being a kid is nice. It's normal.
I was like, it wasn't even like the first grade of high school. It was basically the last, so something like that. There was a point I thought I was fucking, I don't know, a romantic or some shit, or like grey romantic. Okay, thank you for the silence.
I want to answer you. You don't like bitches. It's not my fault. It's more for me. Great. Perfect.
It's like I was
Hello, everyone, this is
I was interested, but I didn't have the feeling, kinda. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, you were a kid. You were developing it. It's normal. It's totally normal.
Oh my god,
confused.
fucking Claudia just tripped on the vacuum.
Your dog is amazing. Your dog is like something. For me, Crystal, Renamon, obviously. Where else? All those human girls. The god mummies, man. The fucking what's the name? The God High, no, not God High Hop. What's that stupid like God store? It's very famous on the US.
Shine?
What? No,
Shane.
it's Chinese.
Oh, I don't know. I don't like golf stuff there, but I don't know.
No, Hot Topic. Hot Topic girls. We like them.
Your daily dose of internet.
On today's episode of Whose Head is Shinier?
Ooh, I wonder how reflective.
Oh my god. Emo High Hop.
He's like, shut up.
Holy shit,
I
that
have
was
never
so
seen a goat get so scared of falling off a 2-inch cliff.
Oh my god.
Oh no! Oh! Oh!
No way.
Hey, which train goes to Tottenville?
You would have had to get on this one.
Ah.
At Jefferson.
All right. I'll get the next one. Thank you.
You sound like Peter from Family Guy.
It's like, well, if you want to go there, yeah, you should catch this train.
Which train
Right.
goes to
He
Tottenville?
sounds like Peter from Family Guy.
You would
Listen.
have had to get on this one.
Listen.
At Jefferson.
All right. I'll get the next one.
It
He sounds like Peter.
During
What
a super
the
serious
fuck?
moment during this play,
Fucking
the sound
sounds
effects
like
guy
Peter
hit the
from
wrong
Family
button.
Guy.
Wrong button. Why do you even have that on the soundboard? How do you recover from that?
Plastic.
Plastic.
From China. China.
Oh, it's from China?
Very good. Thanks for destroying our ocean.
That's kind of fucking fucked. A plastic bag from China?
I think they might need a new t-shirt cannon.
Oh no! Throw it! Throw it!
1, 2, 3, go!
Oh.
Oh.
Hey, yo, dog Riz. Aww.
I feel like.
Can I talk about? Okay, chat. I was raised by Goots' dog. I was sitting on a couch. I'm not even joking. It did a combo on me. I was sitting on a couch. Coda came, like went around me, slapped me in the ass with his like front paw and claws, so it hurt. So I turned back to see, and he smooched me, like it licked my face. I was like, "Boy, was I just smacked in the ass and kissed when I turned? What the fuck just happened?" I was like, "What? You can't do this."
I feel like there's no safe way to use virtual reality headsets.
I felt like vulnerable. I was like, "What the fuck?" Oh, was that a quest? Why?
You good?
So this was probably worst case scenario.
Oh no, are those what is toilets? They are toilets. Oh no, that's so much money. Well, at least they have alphabet. Fine.
Sure about that.
Vai, acelera! Vai!
I
This
love
bride and
cats and
groom did
printers.
rock paper scissors to decide who would get to keep their last name.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I kind of don't get. I don't get the whole like last name thing.
I like my last name, so I would rather
For me,
keep it.
like it makes no sense. It makes no sense to yoink someone's last name.
I like my
You
last
just
name
keep
because
yours.
it's unique. Like, you know, it's unique.
Yeah.
That's why I like it.
Your name is pretty cool. No, I just mean like if you marry someone, just don't do anything to the names. There's no point to use it unless you have a really fucked up name. Maybe you want it. Yeah.
This train broke down in the hot sun, but this delivery guy stopped by to say,
You know, if you were like named, Goods Hitler, maybe change your last name.
save the day
That makes
and
sense.
give water to everyone.
Yeah, maybe change. Combine them. You can do that?
Yeah. We should combine last names here.
Ready, set, go.
Mood.
It's pretty crazy that this was caught on camera.
Speaking about names, I'll just pause this a little bit. I am surprised on how easy it is to change the name in Norway. Like they got my name wrong on the Norwegian register, and I submitted like a name change, and they just like after a while just accepted it. I just had a justification. I'm like, can I just change my name to whatever the fuck I want, and just send a request? Like, did you do that? It's...
Not exactly. You had to go for live for bank stuff and shit to do it legally.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You have
Like
to
official.
blah blah blah. Yeah.
You can't just change name whatever you want.
I did that. I went to the website. I logged in and I just changed it.
I mean, that's.
I changed it to my real name because they got it wrong. They got my name wrong.
I mean, if you saying like you need to fix like a misstep on your name, that's different. But if you're changing your like your full last name, like from I don't know, if you want to fucking be named Bob or some
Bingus
shit.
Dickus. Yes, I want to be named Bingus Dickus.
Yeah, then you need to like talk a lot for like bank stuff and yada yada, card, your ID and shit. It's like it takes time. So it's not that easy as you think. My problem was easy if you ask it to like fix an error on your name because you mistyped it.
Yeah, so I have a little accent in my name, like a little thing on the top, and they made it point to the wrong direction. I was so upset because Storytime chat actually, I don't know if I told you this, but in Norway you can get an ID card even though you're a foreigner. As long as you have like proof of residence, they can issue an ID card. It's like a different card that it doesn't work for traveling internationally, but it's good for identify yourself, like over here. And I went there, so there's only one office in the whole Norway that does this, and it's like 2 hours away. Okay, so I went there, and I was like, "Is everything okay?" And I'm like checking out the information. I'm like, "Oh, my name is the thing backwards," and I'm like, "It's probably fine." And it's like, "Oh no, we have to deny it," and they stamped the denied thing, and I'm like, I took a day off. I drove for 2 hours, and now I have to go back home, change my name, wait for the approval, and then go there again. Yeah, my name is fixed now, but I don't want to go there again. It's so annoying. There's one thing I gotta do though is when I come back from vacation, I gotta change my driver's license. I gotta change it for a Norwegian one because it's always better to have your driver's license, to the country you were kind of living in, if you want to live permanently. That is. Oh, I want to ID some bitches. ID these nuts. Back.
It's late, Jesus.
He accidentally bumped into the one thing that was holding everything up.
What the fuck?
Oh.
Oh no.
This was a super lucky.
What? I didn't even know those things did that.
This was a super lucky but also really good recovery.
Jesus.
Where's my phone? I lost my phone.
He suddenly remembered that he was a baby.
I think it's in the bathroom. I left my phone in the bathroom. My god. This baby pays taxes.
set.
This poor pigeon was overinflated.
Nigel, come out. How did you even
Damn.
How the fuck?
Your perf
He never,
should not have allowed you to do that.
That is so windy.
He works out.
That is actually crazy.
It's swole.
We're not going. We're not going. We're not going. Go back. Go back. Go back. Back up. Back up.
Oh, this is the thing I told you, Goods. So I was
Yeah,
talking to Goods
no.
about this. If this happens, chat, don't leave your car.
Go back. Go back. Go back. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up.
Because it may be electrifying the whole floor, and your wheels are the only thing
They
saving you,
invited
basically.
the UPS guy to join them on the slip and slide, and he said yes.
The slip and slide. Aww. I hope he doesn't get fired. Oh, it's the gay stairs.
Please fall, please fall,
No.
please fall.
One of my
Yes.
subscribers
Daddy
asked me to share
reflexes.
this video of them.
Ah, the whiplash.
I
man.
love it when baby fall.
This is a type of cold that I hope I never get to experience.
Call?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's the
cold.
best. That's the best type of cold. That's the
These
best type
flies
of
totally
cold.
took over this gas station in Michigan.
Oh, flies.
like
it looks
snow.
like it looks like snow, yeah. Burn it, man. Exploded. Little asshole.
This
That's
school in the
little
Philippines
Dakota.
took no chances when it came to cheating on this test.
LJ, how long do you fucking take to wipe your balls?
They had to shut down the ski resort because the winds were so dangerous.
Holy shit, imagine you being there, that's scary.
They tried to fit this giant beanbag into their car.
Why?
Like a bed?
I mean, me when I buy a beanbag, it has to fit. Okay, is this me or it looks like there's plenty of space if you just open the.
This is called a tumbler pigeon, and it's known for doing cool tricks.
Oh damn, backflip!
I have never seen a
Oh
helicopter.
look at his feet! Look, it's like super fluffy. That's a Pokemon.
I have never seen a helicopter dogtail before.
What the fuck? This helicopter.
Oh,
yeah.
baking.
Oh,
Baking a cat.
look at him. He's like, oh.
This little guy needs all the moisture.
When you bake the biscuits, bake the baker.
Is that good?
That looks good.
This taxi driver is super lucky he didn't get hurt.
Okay. The stopped one? Oh!
Oh.
Oh my god.
He really thought he was gonna get away with it.
I mean, he's trying his best. How are they gonna stop it? Pit maneuver?
That is
I thought they're just like slowing down on
enjoyed.
purpose
And
to like
I'll see you
give
guys
him a
again
chance.
very, very soon. Later.
It's not giving him the chance that they can't do anything. Like, they can't run him over, so they just have to go until he stops. Alright, let's do one more daily dose. Are you okay? Well, I can leave. You sound so
Tired.
bored. You
No,
sounded so bored, like, ugh, whatever.
Hello.
LJ!
Yes, why are you yelling?
You fucking took so long to wipe your balls. How big
What
are
do
your
you
balls?
Massive. No,
I
literally
you're
told
like
you
using
guys,
4
like,
towels?
Oh, bruh.
My god.
No.
Stop being a viewer. You have to be part of the stream.
What the fuck do you mean? I'm a viewer. What do you mean?
No, I don't like you as a viewer. It's weird. Come do things.
What do you mean it's weird?
Stop viewing.
How is that weird?
No, no view. My god.
What the
Stupid
fuck?
fly memory.
Why are you not allowing me?
Slowest chase ever.
Hello everyone, this is your daily dose of internet.
Oh, I've seen this one. Whee!
Oh, there's I.
Are you hoping for food? Okay.
LJ has the longest showers and after shower activities. I think he has the longest in shower activity. If you know what I mean.
I like showers.
Heels to the wall, legs straight and together. Thank you. Come down. See, it's just like that. You gotta.
This might be the greatest reaction of all time.
Like rush over you.
Oh yeah, I know that. I do that.
An hour of shower.
I
Bro,
do
I
that.
shower in 10 minutes. What are you guys doing?
It's like not like.
Power wash yourself or something. Like I don't know.
Are you even washing your body? It's like.
Me?
Yeah. I wet myself.
sure?
I put shampoo. I put
wet
like body
myself.
wash, and
Like-
then I just there you go.
Or are you doing the man thing, like only just watching the crotch and just
Yeah,
let the water just like rinse everything?
I just grope myself and I just shake my balls violently and that's it.
Oh, shit, me too.
Okay, I actually wash properly, but I do one thing which I feel it's very manly. I put the like the body wash in my hand, and the first thing is just crotch immediately. I start like smack, and then it goes off. It's like crotch, armpits, and then everything else. I don't know why. It's just like
I always start showering my hair first.
Hair?
Because I have like routine, so
No,
I do my hair first.
when I shower the hair, I do the hair first, just so it stays there for longer. And then I do the body. But if I just
then
do
I do body last.
it's penis first and then the rest. It's priority, okay? Priority.
But first, what I do, I just stand in the shower, just let water all like fall over my body. It's a nice sensation.
Top to bottom. Top to bottom makes sense. But it's like I do in this sequence, so I'm maximizing like fucking speedrunning showers. It's
Well,
you wet
if you're
you
gonna
wet. Now listen. Speedrun techniques. You wet your whole body, including hair. You wash your hair, leave the shampoo, put on your body. Then you wash your body before the hair, so your hair has more time to like act, because some like things need to activate. Then you wash your body. Then you wash your hair, and then you can put conditioner and wash it and like rinse it again. So while you're washing your body, your hair is like doing things. It's like Fuck speedrunning showers. I enjoy myself. Listen, I have a life, and I shower in the morning.
Well,
I
you
shower
can
in the
always-
morning, so I
You
cannot
can
take
just
too much
speed
time.
run. Like speedruns for losers. How about me and LJ can just like sit there in the shower, just enjoy the water?
Why are you keeping fucking including LJ? And I'm just like,
You speedrun!
I guess I'll just fucking like I don't
You
know.
just said it yourself. You just speedrun.
I'll
It's
just
like,
fuck my pillow, I guess, or whatever.
You don't take time.
Stop
to enjoy
cucking me.
the
I don't like
water.
that. What the
Can I
fuck?
watch? Oh.
I did not consent to this.
I mean, you just said it. Like you just speedrun. You don't take time to enjoy the shower, the feeling of the water going down your
I
body.
would
It's, like,
enjoy
nice.
the shower if I had a bathtub. I don't have a bathtub. When I was younger,
But
I
then
used
you're not
to
showering.
I used to like
Very
hot mode.
who has showers on very hot mode. Goods' shower burns my skin.
Wow,
Literally.
no.
It does.
No.
It literally hurts.
No.
Like if I go like so in Norway they have a shower and they have cold and hot, right? And then there's a button you can push to go even hotter. Like you can go past that. Like you
I
can
go
go to
all
the
the way
max.
down.
Yeah, you can go to the max
Wild.
and then go again.
Mhm.
And like it literally burns my skin. I don't know how
the
the
thing
fuck it does
is,
this.
we only do that in summer. Wait, no, winter.
In summer? Oh, I was like
Winter.
summer. Like,
Nah, your
summer
water
we
burns me all the time.
That's just summer. Like, trust me, winter, it's just lava. I love it. Listen, I like my shower steamy, okay? Good for the
That's
skin.
not steamy. You're actually like burning yourself.
No,
Baths and
it's
showers should be hot. They should be hot. They shouldn't like,
you should
murder
have really
you.
cold water, like super cold water. I don't know why.
It's normal water.
That, while you shower, that is not normal water. That is like hot.
It's lukewarm, body warm, like temperature warm.
Well, I need to shine like a lava. I like my shower steamy. And plus, it's a nice feeling just standing under hot water. Feeling water on your skin is nice.
You do the thing where, hold on.
I just like stand there like, it feels so nice.
Standing, sad songs for a shower. Music for when you have deep thoughts in the shower. What is this?
Me.
There you go.
Me, yes. I just like stand there like, it's so nice.
What is that? No video of someone.
Be careful, be careful, Snowy.
I'm on YouTube, it should be fine.
No, trust me.
Standing.
I've seen some
so
stuff
many babies.
On YouTube. I've seen some stuff on YouTube, trust me.
I think I found a rabbit hole where I don't want to figure this out. You know what? We're living.
Yeah, if you find a naked guy, I try to warn you.
I don't want to find a naked guy.
I want to see a naked guy.
No. Oh, Waffle House. I just realized we're Waffle House. Bro, I heard so much about Waffle House. I want to go there. I don't even know what it does.
It's a mythical place.
I heard it's open during like fucking, crises and like natural disasters.
I don't know how something like this is even possible, but these people discovered that their water is super flammable.
Man, how do you... What the fuck?
I didn't know it was possible for the human body to get this hot at room temperature.
Just like, what the fuck, were you okay?
Do you know what's the biggest lie of education? When you're in school, like in middle school and high school even, and they teach you that water evaporates at 100 C or whatever Fahrenheit, and you're like, okay, cool, and then like you get to adult stage and you're like, wait a second, if water like evaporates at 100, then how do we have rain? And then I realized it's a fucking spectrum. It doesn't boil at 100. Water doesn't evaporate at 100 degrees only. It can evaporate at any fucking temperature. And it took me so long to realize this. It's not about pressure. Water evaporates at any temperature. Think about it. How do you dry your clothes without water evaporating? It depends what, like, I was reading about this and I was so upset. They don't teach this shit in high school. It's dumb. It's so dumb. Like, one thing I was upset when I was in school. No, like, one thing I was upset when I was in school is like, they teach you one thing, and then when you go to the next grade, it's like, oh yeah, you know this thing? Never mind. And I'm like, bro, just tell me the end result. It's so annoying. Especially all the atom stuff, like the electrons. Every fucking year there was something new, and I'm like, great. So annoying. It's so annoying. Like, it's cause oh, you don't know the best. Okay, I have a cool story. We were in the high school, like on the final grade. I don't know. It's called 12th grade in Portugal. It's the year before college, and we were having I think it was a physics class, and then it was the okay, this is so funny. They were really dumb, but it was the last class of the physics thing, and one of the girls just straight up said, I'm remembering this, and I'm like, they just like turned to the teacher randomly and they're like, wait, is everything made of molecules? I thought only the air was. And I was like, holy shit, we're in the last year. I'm like, it was like the last class before you go to college. And I was like, what? What?
It's just dawning on her now.
I was like, now you get it? It's like three years of this crap. Like the water one, I get it because they had a really bad way of explaining it, and like they Mandy, thank you so much for the raid, man. We're talking about high school bullshit.
Oh, please don't remind me of my high school. It was literally the best.
Peck, water evaporates at any temperature. I'm not joking. It's not just like dry air taking moisture. That's evaporation. It's just slower. Source, Google. Boiling is at 100. Boiling is at 100. Water evaporates at any temperature. It depends. So the way it works is the water gets, energy from whatever. And then like there's like a certain amount of energy that the molecules need to have to like release them, like to like change states. And the more water you have, the more energy you need. So if you have a lot of water, you need to have higher temperature. But water evaporates at any fucking. Does water evaporate at any temperature? Obviously not like. I misspelled temperature.
But did you know water can be a liquid and solid and gas?
Water can evaporate at any temperature. You're mixing boiling with evaporation. Water evaporates at any temperature above 0. Otherwise, rain would be impossible. Literally. So there's like an actual graph. Yeah, look. This one. So you can't fucking see. So yeah. It's not AI, you dipshit. There's a graph for this. You're mixing up evaporation with boiling. It's different. It doesn't depend on pressure. It evaporates at any temperature above 0. Oh shit. It does depend on pressure, yeah, but like it evaporates at any fucking temperature. Otherwise, you could not like literally dry your clothes if the pressure allows. Yeah, bro. Oh my god, you're being dumb. Any temperature above 0, it evaporates, literally. Otherwise, it would be impossible to have rain, literally, or dry your things. You couldn't dry your clothes if this wasn't a thing. Otherwise, you would need to boil them. It would be kind of fun to have like a boiler. Peck, I'm gonna fucking ban you, literally. You're being stupid. Do you want me to call like a rain expert? Like fucking water expert. There we go. Let's see. What do we have? There we go. If you want, go to this website, call someone. I don't fucking know.
The shutter speed of their phone camera made this water look really weird.
Is that food? The top? Or do you fall down? See. Go.
Holy shit.
I had no idea that it was possible to get scammed by a sandwich.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah, this is a classic. It's so annoying. They do this with the especially with the egg ones. I really like the egg sandwiches, but they just put the egg on the like just here. That's it.
They have a dog, definitely.
Why did he use OpenAI to order IKEA parts? That cannot be good.
For some reason, his cat is really good at playing video games.
Holy shit.
They ordered this super fancy dessert.
Okay. Imagine spending like $100 on a dessert and just
really not
come
sure
on
if
your
this
plate.
is cute or creepy.
Raccoons!
Yeah, that guy is scarred for life.
Vamos quebrar o ovo gigante. A expectativa é quanta gema tem aqui.
Egg and an egg!
This really cool tornado was caught on camera.
Wait, what?
Is it an egg and an egg? Yeah, it can happen.
Oh shit, I thought you could get like double gems, but not this.
Yeah, it can happen.
This really cool tornado was
Of
caught
course
on
it's
camera
Brazilian.
a
It's
few
always
days
Brazilian,
ago.
man. All the cool videos are from Brazil. It's so weird. It's like Brazil records everything for no reason. Egg squared.
Why can no one knows how to like?
Oh no.
Why does no one know
Okay,
how to walk on ice?
I keep saying this. I don't understand the human brain. If your car starts sliding, don't like yes, let me just hold 3 tons of metal. Yeah.
He finally made it to the
Fuck
bird
it.
feeder, but didn't know what to do next.
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
Just gonna shut it.
There's like 9 dudes here. All wearing jeans and flip-flops and no safety harnesses.
This cat figured
Amazing.
out a lazy way to drink water.
Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. If we die, we die. Is he floating? Oh no, he's I'm like, what the fuck?
This dog was perfectly
That
camouflaged.
requires a lot of
Looking
strength.
for this dog for a half an hour.
Oh
Benzie,
no.
Benzie, I have been calling your name.
Get it, Lincoln, go! Lincoln! You forgot the ball.
His golf bag started rolling away.
Oh no, is that the lake?
Yep.
I hope they're not expensive.
This professional
Oh.
driver decided to prank this other driver.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
This random guy
That's a good
found
one.
fell asleep at a red light.
I need to do this at the con. I'll drop like a feint, like, oh, there you go.
I'm so embarrassed.
Bro, you trying to go in, man?
No.
You been asleep at the light, bro.
I'm not sleeping, dude.
This cat decided that they didn't
Yeah,
want any more
right.
visitors.
Honestly, man, if you're tired, it happens. Actually, I napped here once when I was going to the airport. I stopped in the middle to charge my
A
car
few
and I
days
just took
ago,
a
this
nap because I
plane
was
came in for a
really
landing
fucking
and was
tired.
balancing on one wheel.
Holy shit! Okay, that's like almost a
What?
fucking like that
Came
is
in for a landing and was balancing on one wheel.
holy shit! I want to fly in 2 days, man. I don't want to see this.
Oh,
They decided to take
gotta get
advantage
your
of this
cat.
fire hydrant that broke.
I mean, free car wash, I guess.
Yeah, like one on
This
one
dog
side.
is a really bad hunter.
Oh, stealth. Stealth.
Do you know what Chloe would have done?
Oh,
I think you
that-
take a guess.
we were just gonna get a burger
Chloe
from
would just
Mackey's.
ran into them.
A
I
burger?
didn't stop.
There was recently an earthquake in the Philippines, and this guy got a leg cramp at the
Oh,
absolute worst
this
time.
guy. This is so fucked. Literally massive earthquake and he can't move his legs. It's like God wants him to die. Like, yeah.
This crazy
no one
storm
helped
was
him. Like, what
captured
the
at an
fuck?
airport in China.
That is scary. This is a
That's
storm.
normal.
That is not normal. This is a big storm.
It's normal for us because we used to storms.
That
so.
is not the normal thing. Even here, that type of storm would close down things. That's like a deadly one.
We would still go out. We
This is
don't
one of the
stop
smartest
going
ideas
out.
I've
Nah,
ever
not
seen.
with that one. Good trust
No,
me.
trust me. No, you trust me. I'm in the region. You're not.
What's that video? Yeah, but you say a lot of things to flex for no reason.
No, it's not.
What is
I
that
know
video where it's
us.
like a storm? This is like a storm and they're like on a hangar. I think.
I think the only time we usually like stay
Yeah,
in.
look at this one. Look at this one. Holy shit.
Like that, like since there's a thunder, we wouldn't go out. But as long there's
Good,
no
so you
thunder,
would not
lightning,
go out with this. This
Listen,
is you would disappear immediately.
Listen. You depends on the wind. If it's mostly if it's like super strong wind, like really strong, like it will little fly cars, then no.
Yeah, you would
And
not
if it's
go on
lightning.
this.
That's the only thing that makes me not wanting to go outside. If there's just like still strong wind, we'll still go.
When the water is going sideways and up, it's time to not go outside. That's a bad sign.
I'm just saying like what I know from living
This
here.
cat managed to save this chicken from being eaten by an
I'm
eagle.
not flexing. Made me sad.
You are.
I'm not. I'm talking by experience. You're the Portuguese one.
I'm pretty sure if you were out of that,
rain.
that type of storm, you would just disappear. You would fly away. Holy shit.
I feel like you're supposed to turn off the water before working on any plumbing project.
Yeah?
It's gonna go straight up.
Oh, are they like hot switching it? Why?
I'm currently in the United Kingdom, and I found this super pretty secret path that looks like heaven.
Original content is back. Pug.
That is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys again very soon. Later.
Later, Daily Dose. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, this is your
Okay, Lidos, chill the fuck out. Chat, Beans, say hi, or bye, cause we're gonna end, it's like 1 AM, and I'm screaming in my room, and my neighbors probably wanna murder me. So, yeah, we're gonna end, and I'm gonna do, maybe I should stream to, I don't know, we'll see. We're on that 30 minutes of LJ. LJ is now ours. We will. Oh no, he left! What the fuck? Wow. Excuse me.
He even said he had to go.
Excuse me. Come back.
Wow, I just
Scam.
realized. My
I
gosh.
was distracted, like ending and stuff. Alright, we're gonna write
No,
BB.
he left like 30 minutes ago.
No, it's illegal. He didn't
He
leave
did.
30 minutes ago.
They
That's
did.
so exaggerated. Jesus.
No, he did. He did.
30 minutes ago.
Like
You sure?
30 years, 25, 30 max.
Nah, that's too much. That's too much. I refuse.
They did. They
I
did.
refuse.
Did.
I
Look at
refuse.
Chat saying it.
LJ the
Chat
Rare.
saying it.
He left yesterday. Yeah. He evaporated. He probably got like some pressure change, and there you go. He's now he's now a vapor J. Anyway, goodbye, chat. You can all cry as a raid message because LG left. There we go. That's the message. And I'll see you Friday, and then I'm gonna go away for 2 weeks. I talked with Double Dog, so we have like videos lined up and etc. I just won't stream. I am thinking of doing a surprise stream while I'm there, but it's gonna be a little bit different. No spoils though. Alright, chat. Goodbye. Sniffs you, sniffs you, sniffs you. Wait, hold on. We're out of here. Say something so I can sniff you. Hello, chat. No VAR? Nobody? Oh, there. There we go. Oh, my tongue is broken. Look.